Welcome to the final tribal council. Congratulations to Kyle, Landon, and Isaiah. You guys have made it as far as you can possibly make it in this game. And now you have the opportunity to turn this over to your jurors. 11 people who you've had a hand in voting out and are here now. Your fate of winning this game is in their hands. What's unique about this final three, and I was reminded to mention to reiterate this by Nick J, is that each of you have been runner-up in this game before this exact game. You guys have gotten second place your initial season of OSC. I'm going to order my screen. Kyle lost to Andy in season 6. Landon lost to Tristan in season 3. Isaiah lost to Evan in season 8. And now you guys are here vying for that first place spot again. History is going to repeat itself for one of you again. One of you guys is second place again. Somebody's going to be in third place, placing worse than he did. And one of you guys is going to end up being the winner. I can't wait to see what happens. And we are going to get started. So what's going to happen is three of you guys are going to each get, I already told you guys this, you guys are going to each get a 3-minute opening speech. You guys can soft 3 minutes. Around 3 minutes, I'm going to say, hey, wrap it up. You guys can take another minute if you need. I want you guys to say everything that you need to say. Jurors, each of you, this is a traditional final tribal council. Each of you guys are going to get 3 minutes also to speak and address each person that you want to address. You guys going to get a soft 3 minutes as well. I'm going to say, hey, wrap it up, move on. You guys are 3 minutes each. You guys are going to have like a soft 3 minutes. All I ask is that you're not being ridiculous. Like, so we're not like, apparently in the past, there has been like, people have done stupid things like, hey, put on this hat or put on this shoe or like say this and I'll vote for you, or go stick your foot in the toilet and I'll vote for you. No, we're not doing anything stupid like that. That's not necessarily targeted at anyone. I do have a couple names in mind, but we're not doing anything like that. Be serious. And again, like also don't be like overly mean. I mean, these 3 guys, like they made it to the final 3. They're in the spot that you wanted to. These guys kicked your ass, right? So I want you guys to be nice and just like also be hard. Be hard to be nice, but not too mean, because I think a lot of times that comes out of a envy of being there and you're not there. And yeah, with that being said, we're going to get started. Yeah, congratulations. 25 people starting this game, and it was just you 3. So I'm really happy for you guys. I know this means a lot. Who wants to go first?
We can spin a wheel if no one volunteers.
You know what? I'll just do it.
Okay. I was like, I didn't expect you 3 to make me spin a wheel. Are we going to do that right now?
I mean, I can think of one juror that would love it.
I mean, I said I'll go, but
do you want me to spin a wheel, Isaiah? It's up to you. Let me know, because no one else is saying anything.
I can go too if it's fine. Like, it's okay.
I'll spin a wheel if you guys want me to spin a wheel.
Now we all want to go.
What the heck? So now we all want to go. Okay.
I'll spin a wheel.
I'll go. It's fine, but okay.
I'll spin a wheel. First person going, then we'll go in reverse order for closing this, just like we always do. First person going is Landon, the guy who said nothing during that.
Show proof.
So Landon, you're gonna go first. I'm gonna spotlight you. You're gonna go first.
Okay. You could be lying right now.
Am I good to go? Am I ready?
Go. Yep. Go.
Okay, so first off, I want to say a couple of thanks. I want to thank all of you guys for an amazing season. I want to thank Amir for hosting this season once again. When I played this game when I was 14 years old, when I last played this game in season 9, I thought when I got voted out pre-merge, I had nothing left to offer. And I just want to say it's such a blessing now to be in the final tribal council, to be in front of all of you guys, amazing players, and to be potentially pleading my case for the win for online survivor competition, something that's been a very integral part of my life. When I entered this game, I had to kind of rely on my pre-existing relationships. I had to kind of rely on Kyle. I had to kind of rely on those connections that I fostered. And then when we swapped, I had to align with Oscar. I had to talk with Oscar a lot. And both aligning with those guys put me in a great position at the merge. I was able to win the social comp, and I was able to essentially be a really integral part of each vote, despite me not being able to be active. And I understand that's a fault in my game. And I may not be the most proud of this game, but I'm going to own this game. I'm going to own this game, and I'm going to own all those faults, and I'm going to own the ups and downs of this game. I think that I truly played a great game, and I think I played better than both these guys, and I think both these guys have massive faults in their game. And I can't wait to explain my game to all of you guys, and it's been a blessing. I want to leave you guys with one final statistic. I voted correctly for every single tribal council of the merge. I voted for correctly every single tribal council of the merge. These two guys can't say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Landon. Who's going next? Let's see. I didn't spin the wheel twice. It's going to be. It's going one of those really close. Isaiah, you're second.
All right, just let me know when I can start.
Just start. You're good.
All right, so I just want to say thank you, Amir, for hosting, and hello, final three, and the jury, of course. Now, I think this was definitely the way this game played out for me was definitely not the way I expected to end, I guess, my online survivor career. I think the narrative and the storyline for me is most definitely being an uphill battle. I definitely think I had a lot to go through, especially being voted out of this game and having to deal with Redemption Island, surviving every single duel, getting the right side of the votes on Redemption Island to ensure that myself and my closest ally was safe, despite there being honestly pretty crazy competition. I think a lot of people on Redemption Island were known for having some type of physical prowess in these big, large threats. And I managed to overcome that. So fighting my way into the game and coming back in, I think a lot of people would say this, have to rely on your pre-existing relationships. As Amir said, I think the winner of this season is definitely going to be the person who managed their relationships the best. And with it being a multi-sided game, I think that people often associated me with being on one side. But in actuality, I knew for me to maybe even have a chance to win this game, I have to definitely branch out and try to make new connections and stronger connections. I think people associated me being with Kyle, but in actuality, I was also really working closely with Rachel and Nick J as well. I mean, I told them my idol and stuff like that. I didn't tell Kyle that. And I think a lot of people would have expected for me to tell Kyle, but I actually kept a lot of secrets and information from him as well. And so I think stuff like that and making those connections and having different connections with people from different sides of the game really allowed me to have a bird's eye view and understanding where the different sides voted. I think also with my relationships as well, there's a reason why I was able to possibly create and cause that crazy, probably legendary tribal council of the 2 idol plays and the rock draw. That's how I knew kind of where the vote was going. And so at that point, moving forward, seeing that they had done something big and flashy, I truly played this game every single day as if I still had a chance. Even if people told me I didn't have a chance and how small and minuscule my odds were, I played every single day. I never gave up. I never stopped fighting on Redemption Island. And I knew from that point moving forward that my ideal final 3, of course, was people like Landon and Jonah. So I really crafted my strategy on how exactly I can get all of us close to the end of this game and also having a possible threat so I can have the opportunity and chance to make that one big final blow. I can't wait to go more in depth about my strategy and my game. I hope you guys can respect what I tried and managed to do given the hand I was dealt, because a lot of people on Redemption Island were saying that they weren't going to win this game. They weren't going to try. They weren't going to care. But I played this game every single damn day as if I had the odds to win, regardless of what people said and regardless of how bad those odds were. So I hope you guys do really appreciate for me trying and putting in the effort, regardless of how the situation and circumstances were in the game. And I can't wait to answer any further questions.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Yep.
Kyle,
Who's next?
take it away.
Now, okay. So I started off this game setting no expectations for myself. I was not counting anyone out as someone that I would work with, and there was no one that I wouldn't cut in this game. And I really held that mentality true for me. And I think Isaiah said it and Amir said it at the final 25. The person who wins this season is going to be the person who managed their relationships the best. And I do feel that of this final 3, I was the person who did that. Starting off this game, I found the pregame idol and instantly I was proving myself to be a more dynamic player than just working with the friend group. Obviously, I worked with people that I had connections with, but from the get-go, minute 1, I could have given Isaiah an idol, but I didn't. I gave it to Mason instead because I wanted to build a bridge, not just rely on a bridge I had going in. And I held that mentality for as long as I could. And it was pretty easy to breeze through the pre-merge for me. There was obviously a few scary tribal councils, but I was never not in pretty much absolute control of any given tribe I was on. At the final, whatever it was, when we voted out Justin and we did the second swap, I had Landon give me the swap advantage. That was his advantage, but I messaged him telling me to telling him to give it to me, and then so that I could use it to keep myself safe, knowing that it could have put Landon in a bad position. On top of that, going into merge, it was obviously really scary because everyone knew I had an idol. I was being associated with different people, even though I wanted to try and build those different bridges. And it was really sucky for me because I wanted to play a more dynamic game. I didn't want it to be sides, but I held true to that mentality regardless of anything. I had to stick to sides for the first couple of merge votes, but come the Rachel vote, Rachel both strategically was a person that I really wanted gone because I knew how dangerous it was going to be to let Rachel get into the end game. With plenty of comp threats, Rachel was primed to slide by. So I really do feel like I was the one that pulled off that move. I went to Jordan the night before, told him about it. Then I went to Mason and Victor the next day, and we formed a 4-person alliance called the Coalition. Didn't last that long. Victor went out the next vote. And that's really what I'll talk about next, because I made mistakes this game. Not everything went my way all the time. But something you can never take away from my game is that I am always going to be a great improviser. I always found a way to bounce back. I was never really on the back foot because I always had a path forward. I was always fighting. These two guys were not in as much danger throughout the game, but I always had to fight for every day I hear. I treated every day I had in this game like it could be my last, because every day, especially in the post-merge, really felt like it could be my last. On top of that, what these guys can't say is that I didn't even get any votes in the pre-merge. I was the best positioned on pretty much any tribe I was on. Isaiah got voted out in the pre-merge. Landon got votes. The first time I got votes was 1 vote at the final 11. And the most votes I got this season was at 1 tribal council where I got 2. That's the entirety of the votes I got this season. I got 3 votes. And that's partly because I got immunity at 8 through 4. But at the same time, I also didn't need immunity at 7 and 6. Jonah knows that. Isaiah knows it. Landon knows it. I was never going home at 7. Maybe there's some outside chance I could go home at 6, but it's very unlikely. I had pretty much pristine control over a lot of this end game, and no one saw it because they just saw me as this big threat that everyone wanted to take to the end. So if it comes down to who managed their relationships the best, I think that's me, and I'm excited but terrified for all your questions.
Thanks, Kyle. All right. And then we'll turn this over to the jury. You guys, again, just to reiterate, and for Oscar who was late, you guys each have 3 minutes to address the jury, ask whatever questions you want to say, do whatever you want to do, just don't be ridiculous. And the first member of our jury is Ella. Take it away.
I've been waiting for this one. Turn it up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, Amir. I'm definitely gonna need more than 3 minutes. It's nothing to you. It's just I like to write a lot. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Hello there to the valuable people of the jury, the amazing, phenomenal host, and best of all, the mediocre 2 of you and a saint. The running theme that seems to reoccur throughout the season would have to be, you guessed it, reputation. Fun fact, it's no secret, even in my cast assessment, Amir flat out said it. You have a known reputation as a villain and you embrace it. And that's exactly what I love doing, and I'm proud to say that I am, and whether or not you love me or hate me, I don't care. And since y'all want to give me a legacy to live up to, I have no issues doing so. And to that, I bring another aspect into this game. Since I feel like I especially am one of the people that had to deal with a reputation, this FTC is going to be no exception. And here's why. You aren't also going to be fighting for my vote. You're going to be fighting for my twins' vote. So that being said, since y'all wanted to group me and Justin together so bad, y'all are also going to have to deal with him. So where to begin? Well, there's a floater and an ass eater and a dirty fucking lying little cheater. First things first, if 2 of your names were on Epstein's list, I wouldn't be shocked. Starting off with Kyle, you've entered the Dragon's Den, and unfortunately, it's not going to end well for you. So the last time, answer me this one question. Do you believe that you had Kyle privilege to go, quote, my good friend Will Feldman? Do you think you had Kyle privilege?
I think it helped and hindered me. If I can explain if you want me to, but if you want your 4 minutes for yourself.
No, you can elaborate because I want to hear it.
So I think it hurt me in that it made me such a massive threat. Yes, if I played a really crappy game, the same way Davis can get to the end and play bad, then he can get Davis privilege. I can get Kyle privilege. But the difference is that I didn't play bad. I was made a threat and I survived. I don't think I played a bad game. I think I played a really strong game. And I think I survived in spite of my reputation. At the final, 15, there were 3 leaders, even though 2 of the sides only had 2 people, you and Will, and then Rachel and Nick J. My side was the only side that had any actual tangible numbers, and I really didn't even consider it a side. But 2 of those leaders went out at the final 14 and 13. One of those leaders made the final 3. I don't think that's an accident.
Okay. Okay. I also have another tiny question since it is the end of this season and technically you can't get punished for it. Since you have a known reputation for cheating and getting away with it, did you cheat in any immunities this season or believe that you didn't deserve it?
No. I practiced a couple challenges, and that's why I ended up being able to win out.
Okay. I also have one last question for you. Was part of your reasoning for sending Jonah to fire, in your mind, you knew how badly he would get flamed by the jury, and did that impact your decision at all?
It was part of it. Like I said, it was part personal and part game. I really love Jonah, and I didn't want to see him get shit on. Not saying that anyone would, but if somebody was going to, the perception from us 4 was that Jonah would be put through the ringer. And as he's a really close friend of mine, I wanted to give him the chance and fire. And if he lost, then he wouldn't have to go through the ordeal of getting chewed out by people on jury. Yeah, that is true.
Okay. Mind you, Jonah loves to name drop people, so he's gonna get hit by my speech too, because as Nick J said, we need to
wrap it up.
I'm not even done with Kyle. Like, okay. I told you
I said 3 minutes. I gave you 4, but say wrap it up. Jonah's not in the final 3. Address the final 3.
Okay, fine. I was gonna say he's hurting you more than helping you. So if you want to get him to stop talking, that would probably help you out. Okay. If this person has 1 hater, it's me. If this person has 0 haters, I'm dead. Isaiah, you're so fucking insufferable, and I hate your gameplay so much with every fiber of my being. And I'm so glad you didn't really attempt to talk to me, because quite honestly, I would rather take a bunch of sewing needles and stab myself in the eye repeatedly than work with you. You're the most boring, stale, monotone, robotic person who I've seen that lacks a personality. When you came back into the game, you said that you were worried about people not respecting your gameplay as someone who want to come back. And I told you I would respect your gameplay as long as you won immunities.
Yeah, I didn't want to give like a hard, like I said, I wasn't giving a hard 3 minutes. I just want you guys to like, I'm going to give everyone 4 minutes now because Ella took a hard 4 minutes.
For whatever it's worth, Amir, I'm fine to give her as much time. If the final 3's opinion matters at all,
I will be interrupting her for the rest of her time if she's given more time and continues to use it like this.
Never mind.
Okay, so do you just not want me to ask Isaiah and Landon?
No, Ella, that's what I'm saying. Ask your questions. This isn't anything personally that I would be doing this to anybody. Ask your questions and just get through. Just ask your questions.
Okay. So did you believe that you played more bold, or do you honestly think after coming back into the game, do you think that people are going to respect that?
I mean, I think that people most definitely would respect the fact that I at least tried to play this game and put myself in a position where I could have some faults, like my plan
buddy,
at the
Isaiah,
he's fine now. It was just momentary.
I know, but I'm saying I want to let everyone hear what he was saying. You cut out for a bit, so start your statement over.
Last 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. So, like I said, I think most definitely, I think people will respect the fact that I at least tried to put myself in a position to make those bold moves and things like that. Of course, things didn't work out the way I thought it would have worked. It didn't work out as like how I planned for it to work out ultimately, because at Final 4, I did want to position myself with.
Oh, that's not good. That ain't good.
That's not.
You can ask for a question.
Yeah, ask Landon, and then we'll.
Okay. I'll just do like my little thing. Landon, I honestly cannot, like, as much as I would love to say something bad about you, I genuinely cannot say anything bad about you. I think Isaiah's internet's back, so.
Okay, so finish. Okay, so now we're at go to Landon, and then we'll come back to Isaiah. Finish about Landon since you started.
Okay. Landon, I genuinely have nothing bad to say about you. I think you being on Exile, the Exile King, I think a lot of people are not gonna knock you, but I'm impressed with your game. I think you did a great job explaining it in your opening speech, and yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about you. I'll just assume like the ending part, I guess, while Isaiah's still frozen. Shout out Cheat Town. Shout out my boys. Shout out everyone who's rode with me this season. I love you all so much. On a more positive note, Imir, thank you for hosting this game. Truly one of the best games in the fandom. Yeah. If I like you, I like you. If I hate you, I hate you. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you guys have 4 minutes, right? So I'm not giving, I want you guys to be able to just like make this your FTC too as well, but I just like don't want this to go forever. So you have 4 minutes. Just flow through this if that makes sense. Rachel is Rachel, hopefully that makes sense. Rachel's our second juror. Take it away.
Yeah, 4 minutes is short, but I'm not going to take it too long. Don't worry. I don't even have anything prepared, honestly. I think everybody kind of knows who they're going to vote for already, so I don't think there's a need to really like go through everything. But I do want to give everyone a chance to talk. Landon, I was really happy to see you here. Honestly, I didn't know how I felt about seeing you here because we hadn't talked really since I guess like you voted Pellegrino win. So I didn't know how it was going to go between us this game, but I really enjoyed all of our conversations, and I'm actually really glad we reconnected. I guess my question for you, because it is really ironic now that me and Jordan are on the jury.
Mhm. 110%.
If you had to choose your deciding vote between the three of you, who would you vote for?
The deciding vote?
Yeah.
If I was the deciding vote?
Yeah, just like you were the deciding vote in OSC 9, who would you vote for?
I would vote for myself. I have confidence in the game that I played. I think that Kyle played an extremely one-dimensional game, for me to tell you the truth. He relied on immunities, and he claims that the mutiny advantage was something that his move was. Well, the mutiny advantage was expiring for me, and I used the mutiny advantage to save Kyle. Kyle was safe from that because of me. And because of that, I was able to position myself between the two warring factions. I was able to align myself with Oscar and Kyle. And I think that Isaiah also played a little bit of a flawed game. He obviously got voted out. And furthermore, I think that Kyle kind of lost control at the end. And I think that me and Isaiah teamed up actually at the end to control the final few votes. So I think they both have flaws in their game, and I believe in my own game, and I'm confident in myself, and I would vote for myself to win. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Isaiah, I'm really proud of you for making it to the end after everything you've been through this season. I'm glad that you won the comeback, and I'm glad you got a chance to play because I know you wanted to play. I don't know if he's still frozen or if he's just not moving. I don't want to waste time. Is he here?
He's here.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry. So,
Go ahead. Bye. All right.
I don't even know who his internet provider is.
He
For
left.
Right,
He left.
address.
Yeah, I'll go to Kyle. Hi, Kyle.
Hello.
Hello. I think you're probably going to win the game. I think you deserve to win this game. Something that I do want to hear from you, though, just as your friend for so long, I know you like to have sometimes like this little thing about you where you pretend like you don't care maybe as much as you do. But I think that the winner of this game, at least I want to vote for someone who really wants the win and makes me believe that they really want the win because we all did. So if you can say something maybe emotional or like something that like shows that you genuinely want to win the game, that would make me feel a lot better about voting you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely I cared. I mean, I joined this season because of Isaiah, and I'll admit, going into the season, I didn't think I was going to care as much, but I'll be honest, I'll give credit where it's due. Imir is what made me care so much because he was so excited. And once we got into the game, there really is nothing like OSC. Like, this was the franchise, the pinnacle for our side of the fandom for so long. So I think winning this game, like winning potentially the final season of OSC after losing season 6 by a narrow margin, after coming so close in season 9, it means everything. It's a perfect cap for what I feel like is pretty much the end of this franchise. And as the fandom really feels like it's winding down, Devin left fucking good vibes in our Cape 2 chat. Like, it really feels, and maybe it's just like the end of game jitters where it feels like it's winding down altogether. But this really does feel like the end for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So it would be everything to me. And I will say, I don't think I pretended to not care as much this season. I think it was pretty out there, just for like, I wanted this. And like, you can ask anybody, like, I would tell people like, I want this. And I fought every day I had in this game because I didn't think I was going to make it this far, but I didn't stop just because I didn't think I was going to make it. I fought every day.
Thank you. And Isaiah, I know you're back. I don't know if you could hear me before, but I'm happy that you got to come back into the game and play because I know you wanted to play. I know there were some more things you wanted to do with your game that you didn't get to do. I wish you had the chance to do so. I guess I would ask you, other than being voted out in the pre-merge, do you have any like big mistakes that you feel like you made in the game?
I will say definitely my whole plan was at 4 is to have some sort of big threat so that I could have that final opportunity to make a big move, take off the necklace and take out the threat to win the game. And I think the flaw is, and I'm not the only person who ultimately made this flaw and didn't realize this, was Kyle's comp ability. He was immune for 5 rounds in a row. So I think my flaw was definitely taking the wrong threat to 4. And I should have probably tried to get Kyle out a bit earlier.
Okay, thanks. Well, good luck, guys. It was a fun season. I liked playing with all of you. And yeah, keep good vibes during this FTC. You guys know who you're voting for.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. All right. So you guys see what Rachel did as a jury. Like that was an ideal exemplary example of what you guys should be doing as jurors. Ask your question within those 4 minutes and just keep it going. All right. Victor, please take it away.
Okay, guys, what's up? I'll be honest, I don't really need anything from any of you. I'm just going to kind of talk to each one of you. So, Isaiah, you're one of my favorite people in the fandom, man, but I don't think I can get past the second boot status.
I get it.
I hope you understand, but I can't vote for you tonight. I love you, man, but
it's fine. Yeah, I got it.
That's about all I got. Landon, I'll be honest, man. Like, you're incredibly well-spoken. I'll give you that. And I think you're a chill guy. Your social game just wasn't good, man. I tried to call you so many times this season. I would text you, and all you would do was like the message or just not respond at all. And I think part of your success was due to your inactivity. And I respect you as a person, Landon. I really do. But just, I don't think this season was it for you. I don't think it was. Sorry, man, but you're probably not going to get my vote either. Keep fighting, because maybe you'll pull something out. But as of right now, I'm pretty decided.
Can I also want to say again, I want to apologize for you, the way I acted when you got voted out. I just got caught up in the moment, and I just wanted to apologize again because that was a very immature moment of me. And I apologize if I didn't respond to you. I think my social game was flawed, guys. My social game was flawed, and I own those flaws. I own those flaws, and I wear those mistakes. And I'm not going to sit here in front of you and say that I played a perfect game, and I didn't. I think I had a better social game with some people than others. And again, I apologize that it wasn't for you, Victor.
It's all right, man. I appreciate the apology. Like, really, you reacting the way you did at my vote out wasn't a big deal. I get it. You know, you were pumped. It's fine. I'd lie if I say it would have been easy to react the same way. Like we all get that way sometimes. But that's all I got for you, man. Kyle, my guy. So I'm voting for you tonight. Keep fighting. Don't think you have this win in the bag, man, because I know some people here are looking for reasons not to vote you. Okay, so don't think you got it in the bag. I mean, you might. There's a high chance you do, but don't fumble it. Okay, keep fighting. And good luck, everybody. That's all.
Awesome.
For whatever it's worth, I don't think I have it in the bag. Amir literally told us that the jury was
I was about
divided.
to say that. I was going to say, so now this is a conference. This is you guys, you skeptical final 3 who thought that I was just saying that to say that. No, I want you guys to all.
I didn't think that. It was terrifying.
All right. Thank you, Victor. Our 4th member of the jury was Cookie. Take it away.
The robbed motherfucker himself. COOKIE, man. If you've ever played a game with me, you know that I love to have a tribal where I go down the line and I roast everyone. To keep this flow going, though, to keep under the 4 minutes, I'm going to just try and hit everybody real quick for merge here because I want to get my moment in, all right? Ella, if you were colorblind, you'd still see the color red the way you like to go after vengeance. Boom, roasted, okay? Rachel, you had a whole side, but only one person on your side? Boom, roasted. Victor, nice haircut, man. Let's see. Cookie, I should have won. Mason, you have long hair, but you don't have the best long hair. I do, and I don't even show it. Boom, roasted. Jordan, good job giving your idol away, buddy. Ha, boom, roasted. Fisher, bald, roasted. Nick J, he's not here right now, but what I would tell him is You tall for no reason, buddy. Eat some beans, greens, meats, get to the gym, and get on the Blazers because we need a motherfucking power forward, motherfucker. Boom, roasted. Will, cheater, roasted. Oscar, Gillette, sounds like the name of a dentist. Consider that career path, please. Boom, roasted. Jonah, look what you made me poo. If I didn't have a time limit right now, you would be in a fucking grave. Let's save it for the reunion, though. On to the final three. All right. I'm very excited for this. Isaiah, you were second boo. And in my opinion, when you get to win your way back into the game, you need to make the most out of every round you're in. You didn't. You were boring. You were just there. You were a question mark, and you weren't even the Riddler. You were an oversight. Come on, man. Landon, you were inactive. You had moments where you left people on scene. That is like Survivor 101. But here's what I want to get to real quick. And I kind of just want to make statements on everyone. And if y'all want to respond to them, feel more than free to. Kyle, I absolutely hate the fact that a lot of this jury, at first at least, was saying Kyle might have to win this one. Because if I look beneath the surface of your game, I see the exact same game that Landon and Isaiah played. You said, I don't think I played a soft game. I played a strong game. I think you played a lazy game. I'm going to be real with you. And the reason I'm directing a lot of this at you is because I feel like Landon and Isaiah are in an unfair uphill battle that me, as a person who's not as well connected in this fucking friend group, had to experience all the way until I got rocked out. You had connections that you felt like you made that were new. Well, here's the thing, buddy, okay? Giving a fucking idol to Mason, not doing nothing with that connection, and then getting him out at 10, what the fuck is that bridge being built? That ain't getting nothing over the water, okay? Now, what I do feel like you did was absolutely smart. It was genius to get here, but I don't respect the way you got here, and I think it was pretty cheap. It was a pretty cheap way of doing it. And I kind of wanted to just say that so everybody else, so the jury can at least say, hey, Kyle might have played a good enough game to win, but it shouldn't be as clear cut. Because to me, it's not. It's a toss-up between all three right now. And I genuinely think when it comes to y'all arguing, that's what it's going to end up coming down to. I don't want to do a time check on Amir because if I do, I'm going to just keep yapping. But to wrap this thing up in a nice little bow, you guys all did not play a good enough game to win, but you guys are here and one of you will win. Go fight, win, please. You don't need to keep your eyes peeled, but god damn it, let me see some fucking emotion. Let me see some fucking fire. Let me see one of y'all saying, I didn't just take the easy route to the end, because I feel like all of y'all did that shit. To be voted out second and do it, embarrassing. To be inactive at the merge, embarrassing. To be Kyle, this is one thing I wanted to say. I feel like you had the keys to play a great game. But what you did was you unlocked the car, you got in it, you didn't start it, you put the radio on, and the Jay-Z song wasn't on. It was Taylor Swift. And you was just singing that motherfucker all the way to the final three. And that's what I feel like happened. And I feel like a lot of things you said in your opening statement were very contradictive. I know big words. I know syllables, motherfucker. Okay, let's go. Love you guys a lot. I can't wait to hear y'all. But that's kind of what I wanted to say. I honestly think, love you guys. Love you. That's it.
5 seconds to spare. Thank you, Cookie. That was awesome. This is why I guess the Cookie, I would have made room for Cookie no matter what. This could have been a cast of 26 or 27 anytime. Thank you, Cookie. And Mason, take it away, buddy.
All right. I didn't really come with anything prepared. I came in wanting to listen to your opening statements and then go based off that. Landon, Isaiah, I do have to say I was a little disappointed when I would hear that you guys would that the first thing you thought in your mind when coming into the game was wanting to capitalize on your pregame relationships as someone coming in with the game without not as many. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't come in with my own my own relationships, but Landon, I know you wanted to say something, so you can say it.
Okay, yeah. So I actually didn't want to go in and capitalize on my pregame relationships. People were targeting me, so I had to position myself. I had to capitalize on those relationships, and I had to emphasize those connections to save me. It was do or die for me. Even though I was socializing with other people, I was socializing with Brady and Jemima and Hemi. Guess what? They wanted to vote me out. So I had to use those connections. I had to emphasize those points to keep me in the game.
Okay. Yeah. This next bit, what I'm gonna say, I don't want anyone to comment on. This is just how I felt throughout the entire game. you know, I had my allies. I had the people who wanted to save me throughout that first half. And I do appreciate Oscar, Justin, and Will for saving me that first trial because it was not looking great for me. And shout out Kyle for giving me the idol. We'll get to that. But you know, coming into the game and having to find my own spot within these two sides of people who are friend group and anti-friend group, it was just difficult because when people have their own agendas, they're going to follow their agenda all the way through. And that left no room for me to wiggle on through and try and play my own game. I couldn't make the move. I couldn't be the threat that Rachel or Kyle or Oscar was throughout this game because I didn't have the connections to do so. I didn't know these people before the game. And it was just frustrating that I was forced to pretty much play an under the radar game. And I don't know what happened on my vote out in Final 10 because you guys did really good keeping that one not out in the open. So I was pretty shocked it got voted out. And I felt like I was forced to play the game I had to play simply because of the circumstances we got into. So I guess now here's the time I want a comment. Kyle, I know you said you didn't want the friendship stuff throughout the game, and we had talks about that, and you said that in your opening speech. But with the people who got to the end and the people you worked with further in the game, it did seem that they were still in the friend group. So can you comment on that?
Yeah, I can. So I definitely built really, really strong relationships. I mean, Landon said that he profited off the Oscar me war. I profited off the Oscar me war. Oscar profited off it. Oscar and I were aligned that whole time throughout that entire thing. I was playing a much more complex game. And I'll admit, the two people sitting next to me, the final four, were all people that I am really, really close to. And I think that came down to the fact of just like, who were the small threats? Who were the big threats? I think you and Jordan were two really well-positioned middle ground threats. That's why I wasn't unhappy to see either of you go. I think Will was somebody who was viewed as playing a lesser game, but was still somebody that would have won if he got to the end in a certain combination of people. So I would chalk that up to circumstance and threat level for why it ended up being the final four and the general end game for who I ended up working with, because I needed the people that were going to keep me around. And I think that is really what ended up happening, because the final seven, Landon said that was him and Isaiah. I think I played a pretty damn key important role in that too, because what they don't know is that I went to Jonah after Fisher was voted out. I had a 2-hour call with Jonah explaining my perception, convincing him my perception of the game was reality, where him and Isaiah were the lower down threats, and he needed to take me to 4. And then I had Jonah go to Landon and Isaiah with that plan. I won't take it away from Landon and Isaiah. I think they were already thinking that, but for them to take sole claim over that, especially when that plan profited me the most, is wrong.
All right, thank you. I don't have much more. All I do want to say is this was a really, as frustrating as this game was, it was very fun, and I appreciate all of you, and I love meeting all of you. Like, I've already met some of you before, but I've liked meeting most of you guys. Amir, thank you again for letting me play. I really love this game, and I think you do a good job hosting it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mason. One of my favorites for sure. Jordan, take it away.
Well, first of all, Isaiah, Kyle, you know how extremely awkward this is given our video we made. But
You're supposed to be here with us.
this is really, really unfortunate. I mean, congratulations to the three of you. I very much believe that the three of you did all play good games. I wouldn't consider any of your games the greatest of all time, as somebody in the jury chat put it, but I definitely respect the three of you. The comments that I will make prior to asking maybe a couple questions is that, Kyle, I very much think that you and Isaiah played the opposite game. Isaiah won a bunch of comps when his life was on the line at the beginning of the game, and then slowly but surely made a lot of connections to make sure that he survived the end game. Whereas you did a lot at the beginning to make those connections. Now I'm gonna be honest, it does not look good in your favor that this was the final four, because this is who everybody would expect you to make the final four with. This is who everybody like if people were to pick a dream Final Four for you to pick and just steamroll to the end, this would be it. And people don't want that. But then near the end of the game, then you won a bunch of comps when maybe your life was on the line. Maybe, yeah, you and Jonah talked and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have to wait for Jonah to see if that was really a thing. I definitely think that Landon and Isaiah, your cases struggled due to the fact that Kyle is here and was able to win immunity at Final Four, because bringing somebody to Final Four to beat and fire only works if you take out that person, and you were not capable of doing that. Now, I do have a tradition to uphold. Landon, give me your top 3 moves, big guy.
Oh my gosh, this is so iconic. Okay, so I have several big moves that I want to list out. Okay, so first, move number 3. I told Isaiah to play his idol, and more importantly, you may be thinking, oh, well, multiple people snitch. Well, I also told Kyle not to play his idol, and I knew about both of these guys' idols, and they didn't know about each other's idols. So I was pretty connected and well insulated with the both of them. And then the next move I made, I think we solidified it on Fisher at the final 8, and that allowed me and Isaiah to get our hit list down, and me and Isaiah worked together, and we were able to get to the Oscar. Don't give me that face. I'm just trying to talk, man. And we were able to essentially get to the final 3, and we were able to position ourselves in a way that we would be safe every round. And then finally, let's go back to pre-merge. I think that I threw out several names. Obviously, I gave Kyle the mutiny advantage, which allowed him to, I think, get to the merge. And I think we were mutually beneficial for each other, and that allowed me to get further in the game. I think I threw out Davis's name. I think I threw out Noah's name, 2 people that are targeting me.
And the other question I wanted to ask, Kyle, can you give me a move that you made? Like, I know that you gave the idol to Mason or whatever. I wouldn't consider that big because that was like day 1 and you had immunity. Because your tribe won. It was the only time that ever happened. But what would you say is your best move that you made because of a connection that you did not think you had prior to the game?
That would easily be the Rachel one, because Rachel was somebody that I had a very strong relationship with. But like I said, and I guess Cookie didn't hear when I said this, but Mason was a key part in that plan happening. That was a massive part in why that plan came to fruition, that connection. It was built on the backbone of me giving him the idol, but that was the catalyst. The payoff was Rachel going home and me bringing you 2 over from the other side, me and Victor coming over from our side. We formed that 4-person coalition, and we were the people that took out Rachel that vote. And I think that was really key in what happened.
All right. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Amir, for hosting, and Isaiah, please post season 8 of Conquest. I need my ego back.
Thank you, Jordan. Pleasure. Fisher, take it away, buddy.
All right, what's up, Final 3? So I think y'all should be very proud of your game. I think you take it as it is. Obviously, there only could be one winner tonight, and I think all of you played a really good game in your own way. I don't care like what other people say if they like try to trash on your game. I think you all shined in your own different little moments. I think Kyle, obviously, he had like the target ability to like get to the end, and I think Landon went under the radar and like obviously like was able to make moves, and like obviously won't get as much credit obviously because like I think people undervalue him. And then even Isaiah, I think obviously Isaiah could have just been an easy target coming back in because like we already got him out once and we could get him out again. But I applaud you all. You all get to the final 3. I have a question just for all of you. That'll be simply it. What would you say? What is the like biggest defining moment of the game for you? And like you guys can go in our order. Maybe if you go first, you might like. Oh, okay.
I can go first. I'll highlight something. I think I had a few defining moments, but one that was a real pinnacle and really set me up well for the end game was holding my idol at the final 11. People tried somewhat to get me to play it for so many tribals prior, but that, and everyone knows, that was the tribal people were trying to get me to play my idol. They were trying to take me, or they were trying to flush my idol and take Isaiah out with the idol in his pocket. But that didn't happen. I held the idol and the vote taught. And that proved absolutely critical, because if I don't have an idol at the final 10/9 with a twist like that, maybe I don't go home. But I think I could damn well get a lot more votes than I did, because people chose that tribal to still flush my idol. And I'm not going to claim me playing the idol as some genius move at the final 10. I would have loved to have held the idol, but it worked out. But I think it was absolutely crucial that I had that idol for that tribal council, because I think there is insanely good odds that I could go home that tribal council. So I think a defining moment that set me up for the end game run that I went on was holding the idol at 11.
Okay, I think a defining moment for me is when I found the idol, and then I went to Isaiah, and then he said he found the idol. So we knew we had 2 idols. So we knew we could run the game forward, and we could get who we wanted in the final 4. And I think that was the defining moment when I found my idol and I was able to tell Isaiah and connect with Isaiah.
All right, so I guess I'll go next. My defining moment definitely had to it was more so like the final 11. Like when I played that idol and made that move, the correct idol play, and then I also knew that Oscar had the idol because Kyle told me on a call beforehand at that tribal council. So I know at least either Oscar was going to go home with the idol in his pocket or is going to be flushed. And I think, you know, people might actually think that I just forced rocks for the sake of forcing rocks, but I was really good with Kyle and I was really good with Nick J. So it really worked out to my benefit to keep them both in the game. And as well, I would like to comment, like Landon was saying how, like, you know, like his biggest move was telling me that, you know, my name was out there or whatever. But Nick J had told me like beforehand. I already knew that was going on. I knew about Kyle's idol. I was actually telling people about Kyle's idol. I wasn't as loyal to Kyle as people actually had initially thought. Also at that final 10, I was actually throwing out Mason's name. I was pushing for Jordan as well, because what I wanted was the middle people to go out of the game. So that way I could have more of an idea of where people stood to allow my ideal final 3 to come into fruition. So it was a lot easier to basically pick off, you know, you, Nick J, Boyle, and whatever, and to really open that pathway for me to run the end game to possibly put myself in a chance to give myself the best odds at winning. So yeah, I'd say that's my defining moment from that point in the board.
All right. That's all I got. In the words of Ymir Williams, go fight, win.
Thanks, Fisher. All right, this next one should be good. Nick J, take it away.
Hey guys, one sec. Don't start. I'm eating. One sec.
He gets on my nerves.
I'm serious. I'm chewing. I don't want to talk to my. Okay. Hey guys, really good to see you here. I hope you know I all think you're amazing people from the top and the bottom of my heart, all parts of my heart. I think you're great. But I did miss the opening speeches, so I'm not gonna ask you to repeat that or anything of the sort, but I'm just gonna preface that because I might ask something that you already said. So I ask you to bear with me because I'm a working individual and I appreciate your tolerance. So my first question is for Isaiah and Landon, and I just want to know, if you guys had won Final Four immunity, what would you have done with it?
If I won Final Four immunity, I would have put myself in fire against Kyle.
And Landon?
I would have done the same.
Okay. Again, no hate to anyone, but I think that says a lot in itself. The fact that they didn't want to sit next to Kyle and Kyle is here. However, with that, I'm going to transition into Kyle. Kyle, I do think the fact that the last time you were unimmune was the final 11. I mean, to put that into timeline, like I know we had a lot of doubles, but when it was the final 11, we still thought we were going to meet Brandon. So like, that was a long time ago. So like, I just like, and I absolutely like, I'm an immunity person myself. I win immunities. So I'm not like hating on that, but I do also think that you really would not be here if it were not for the immunities. But I do want to talk about, everyone just talked about their idols, which I found interesting. That was interesting, but I do also want to say the only person who needed their idol, and actually in my opinion, the only person that actually did something with their idol was Kyle. I mean, besides that, well, Isaiah played his idol correctly, but well, you guys were, especially, like, no hate to Landon, but you're bringing up your idol. You didn't need your idol. It's not like you did anything crazy with your idol. So while it's great that you had an idol, I feel like it's not really a flex to have it if you didn't do anything with it.
I didn't need my idol.
But why didn't you need the idol?
Because I was well positioned enough and I knew nobody.
Were you well positioned, or did you were you well positioned, or were you not doing anything?
I was able to go under the radar and people didn't want to vote me out. And I can understand, first off, for the entire jury, I can understand if you perceive that as a weakness in my game, and I understand that, and I hope you guys aren't mad at me for that, but that's how I perceive it.
Yeah, I don't think I mean I'm not mad about it. I just think that like for you, well, something that just felt like a little off is you just said a little earlier, you said that you wanted to get Fisher out at 8 in order to well position yourself. But it's like I feel like at that point in the game, you shouldn't have been making moves to position yourself. You should have been making moves to win the game because that's what you needed, in my opinion.
Okay.
But yeah,
Can I comment on the immunities if you don't have anything?
go for it. Yeah, go for it. Real quick.
Okay,
Babs.
so yeah, so I think you can hold it against me that I was immune from 10 to final 3, but at the same time, that is not strictly why I am here. I did
Mhm.
not need final immunity at 7 or 6. I had the deal in place. Oscar, you had the same deal. Okay, he's not listening, but Oscar had the same deal with Isaiah where he said, I want to take you to 4. He had the exact same deal, but I had the same deal with Landon, with Isaiah, and with Jonah. I was insanely confident. I was in the final 2 against Oscar in that coin challenge of the final 7. I was debating right then and there whether I should just throw it because I knew I didn't need it. And at the same time, I was debating on whether or not I needed 6. It was card stacking, and I've been practicing that for a while, so I figured I just want to win it. And then at the same time, maybe Isaiah's going to deny this now, and maybe I still go out there anyway. But I probably wouldn't have needed immunity at 5 if I didn't win immunity at 7 and 6. Because Isaiah literally got on call with me and said he probably would have taken me to 4, but that plan changed when I won immunity at 7 and 6. So if I was immune, then it didn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do, but I do want to say I think for everyone in the game, when I got voted out, I said for everyone in the game, it made no sense voting me out besides for you, Kyle, and for Oscar, because I think keeping Oscar in over me, I didn't understand. So if Isaiah or Landon, if one of you want to talk about why you thought why you thought it made sense to take me out over Oscar, I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, it was basically essentially due to compatibility. I knew ideal for me is that I kind of wanted to keep Kyle or like Oscar around like 5. And the dilemma is that I felt like Oscar was not as capable in terms of comp. I mean, was not as capable in terms of comp, but he was a worthy and a lot stronger fire making competitor. And Kyle, it was the other way around. So
Isaiah, I can comment on that. Me being bad at fire making was a lie. I just said that. I am perfectly fine at fire making. You just believed my lie.
I mean, I have one more question, please.
I know.
Please.
Keep going, but it's
Okay.
a simple. Keep going.
Listen, I was gonna ask you guys to rank every juror from your favorite to least favorite, but I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna ask you to say your favorite and your least favorite with no explanation. And then we can move on.
You are both my favorite and least favorite because you're the best of both worlds.
Oh, that's great.
I don't think there's a good answer I can give other than that.
All right. Other two?
Or Isaiah, are you gonna go? Or?
go ahead, or I don't know, doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I think my favorite was. It's a hard one. I think my favorite was. I think my favorite was Oscar, and my least favorite was Jonah.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Isaiah.
I'd say my favorite juror, I'll say Jordan. And then my least favorite, I'll say Ella.
Okay. Thanks so much, guys. I love you all these people. And I only love one of the actually I don't love any of the games you played, I will say, but good luck, guys. And yeah. Don't fight because love. Spread love. Go love win. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick J. This next one should wake us up. Will, take it away.
Okay, so coming into tonight, I had a very clear idea of what I was going to say and how I was going to vote. But now I feel like my mind's been a little scrambled, like some little scrambled eggs. It's been a little jiggled up. So my first question, and because I generally do want to vote for who played the best games. So this is to Landon and Isaiah. If Kyle, Kyle say what he wants, but if Kyle loses immunity at 7 or 6, is he here? Is he still here?
Honestly, at that time, we didn't know. We were considering cutting Kyle. But I also think that Kyle played a flawed game,
No, if
I-
would you vote out Kyle if he lost immunity at 7? Yes or no?
It would be depending on what other people would decide, but I might have tried to go that route.
Okay, and Isaiah? Oh, he's frozen. Robots. I guess the robot didn't have good interaction. Okay, I was gonna make a joke, but that didn't make sense. So yeah, that definitely does change things a wee bit. Oh wait, Isaiah. Okay, are you good now? Can you hear me? I guess you can't. Hello, love. Okay. So if y'all genuinely were not gonna consider cutting Kyle at that point, y'all are fucking stupid. Like just straight up. Oh, I can hear you now. Okay, I can hear you now. Can you speak?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Would you have cut Kyle at 7?
Okay, for me, it would have depended on who.
That's really rough. I hate that. That sucks for him. All right, keep going. All right, Isaiah, you're back.
You can hear me?
Yes,
Or
I'm not
now.
with your Wi-Fi today, but keep going.
Okay, so for me, it really depended on who won the immunity challenge. So can you guys not?
I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, for me, it depended on who won the immunity challenge. I knew at 7, I wanted Nick J out. So had Nick J had won immunity, yes, I would have considered voting Kyle at 7. Now for 6, the reason why I did you instead of like, you know, a quote unquote bigger name is because I felt like sticking with that 4 didn't work out for me because I needed to give myself the opportunity to make that move to take out a bigger player. So that's why I voted you out at 6.
So you had an opportunity to vote out a bigger player. It's called fucking voting them out, you dumbass. Like,
But not voting
is
them,
not
no,
like-
no, no,
you don't
not
give a-
voting them out, but to make that like final move to take off the necklace and give myself the opportunity to take out a bigger name. I feel like if I
Okay,
did
well, I
you,
think people would respect it more if you just took out a bigger name when you could have, just straight up. So that helps me a lot. All I can say is my mind is definitely changed coming in here. Kyle, while I definitely think that you had Kyle privilege in this game, and I don't think you played some all-time amazing game, the fact, and I know that a lot of your game was, you know, manipulating your pre-existing relationships, you know, you fucking did it, and people were eating out of your asshole, and you know, I'm an ass-eating defender, so that's awesome. Isaiah, Isaiah, I mean, to me, the whole point of this game is to not get voted out. And not only did you get voted out like the second round, apparently according to Amir, you cried like a little bitch boy, like you cried like a little piss baby. So that's yeah, and now you're here and you still have the personality of prune juice. Landon, you're pretty sweet, and I was probably going to vote for you. But after hearing all this shit, yeah, you're sweet. I thought that you were the best position in this game. But after hearing a lot of things, how deep you're willing to to take Kyle, how easily y'all were manipulated by Oscar.
I wasn't willing to take Kyle deep. I was considering cutting him. I was considering if Kyle and Oscar didn't win immunity and me, Jonah, or Isaiah did, I was gonna make a big move and get Kyle out.
Like by how far back?
7.
I feel like that you just heard. That's just what I wanted to hear. But I mean, listen, I respect all of you. I think you guys all played decent enough games. I don't love any of you. If someone who I loved here was here, I'd say I love you, but I find you guys to be, I find 2 of you to be pleasant enough. And Isaiah, if this was actual Survivor, I'd say you take the money and buy a personality. Have fun.
All right. Thank you, Will. One, I want to say I did not say that Isaiah cried. I said they looked like he was going to. Oscar, take it away.
I'm going to start off by saying I hope Amir learned his lesson about saying information that he thinks doesn't matter. I'm also going to say, Ella and Will, y'all did not eat. Stop just making fun of people. It's not funny. It's not cool. Like, yeah, we're probably going to vote for the same person, but it's just annoying and everyone gets annoyed by it. Like, you guys know I'm fans of you guys, Cheat Town and everything, but that's annoying. I am going to want to get to the bottom of this. Let's say Jonah had won Final 6 immunity. What goes on at that tribal? Landon, Isaiah, it's a question to you.
Jonah wins Final 6 immunity?
Yep, what happens?
Isaiah, do you want to go first or do you want?
For whatever it's worth, Oscar, they're only going to tell you what you want to hear now.
No, I do
No.
understand that. I'm gonna follow up with that, but I want to see what they're gonna say here.
If Jonah wins final 6 immunity, I'd say probably Kyle goes, at least from my perspective.
I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what's realistic and what I thought would have happened. I don't think that Isaiah or Jonah would have pulled the plug on Kyle. And at least for me, I wanted to make a big play with my idol. And you know I wanted to make a big play with my idol. But at that time, I couldn't. I needed to save it for the final 5.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, Landon, Isaiah, both of you knowing where your jury capital was, you both knew that you were pretty low in jury rankings. You both knew all that, and you both had idols, and you both knew that people wanted to take you to the end, and you both felt like you needed to save your idols for 5. No, if you know you're low in jury rankings, use your idols to change that fact. I mean, you guys played great games, better than me. You managed to make it this far, but insane that that's the type of gameplay you're looking to play. Now, voting me out at 6, also a smart move, sure. But if you had the shot at Kyle, who is shown as a if you're not able to say confidently, this is what I would have done at 6, that's insane to me. Like if you're able to say I would have voted you out because you're a bigger threat than Kyle, XYZ, sure, I understand that reasoning. That makes sense. But to not be able to say confidently what you would have done in an end game situation in a certain hypothetical, and to say that you feel like you needed to save your idol for 5 when you know no one's voting you at 5 because everyone wants to sit at the end next to you, that's insane to me. Kyle, did you need the final 5 immunity?
After winning 7 and 6, yes.
Did you need it? Did you need the final 5 immunity?
Yes, I did.
And I don't think that that's a discredit to your game. Immunities are a part of the game. As much as I fucking hate immunities, they are a part of the game. This is physical, strategic, and social. And as much as I used to be terrible at physical and social, and now I'm terrible at physical, it's still a part of the game. And the fact is, it's a part of the game that you were good at, and you played that part. And I don't think that you just made it to the end on immunities, and I don't think that you just got to be a big jury threat because of Kyle privilege. I believe that you orchestrated several of the early merge votes, and you weren't just a big figure because of your name. I think you would have been a big figure because of your name either way. But I think you made yourself a big figure in the early merge by orchestrating those votes, and in the pre-merge by going to tribal after fucking tribal after tribal and sending people home, sometimes idle in pocket, Justin. Now, for that reason, I hate that you won out. I really wish you didn't win out, but you did. So for that reason, I think that Kyle deserves it. And I hate to be the guy who, gives a preachy jury speech telling other jurors how to vote, but I really do think Kyle deserves it. I do want to ask you a question, Kyle. It takes a little bit of crazy in your head to play this game with as much dedication as you did 3 times for as long as you did. And I know what crazy in my head caused me to do it twice. But I want to know what crazy in your head caused you to play this game, caused you to have as much passion for this game as you did 3 times.
The first 2 times was because I cared a lot about how I was viewed in this community, because for a long time, this was where I got my sense of confidence from and being viewed as good in Survivor. This season, I wasn't as worried about that. This season, what made me so invested was genuinely Amir being so excited and the strength of the cast.
All right. Kyle, I'm going to say I walked into this final tribal planning on voting you, but hating voting you. And your answer to Rachel's question, where you talked about how you cared about the game, caused me to want to vote you and enjoy voting you. And I will say, I feel like it's almost 3 years overdue now. Not just my vote, but this next question, because I did ask Andy this question and you asked if you could answer it and I said no. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to answer this question 3 years overdue now. Sorry, I'm going to go a little over time. What was the question I asked Andy that I refused to let you answer was, what did you have in this game that I didn't have that I could improve on as a player going forward by adopting from your game?
Practicing challenges out of your ass to make sure you don't have to go home.
All right.
I only did it twice, to be fair to me. It was Oreo and card stacking. Those are the only ones I actually practiced, but they proved important.
Thank you, Kyle. And thank you, Amir. Great game, except for the parts I'm going to complain about in the reunion.
Thank you, Oscar. And I invite all those things only from Oscar only, because he sees Oscar and do those things. All right. Thank you. And Jonah finishes off.
What is up, Final 3? Congratulations. Yeah, I've been listening to everything. I have some things prepared, a few things that I wanted to ask, just a few comments. I think that the jury might look at it and be like, Kyle, you needed a lot of immunities. You needed the idol, final 5, you might have needed it. I think I was going to vote for Oscar there. To be honest, I wasn't fully decided whether I would do you or Oscar at final 5. Both was kind of presented to me. I remember it, Isaiah at final 7 was like, well, I definitely want Nick J out at 7, Will at 6, but between Oscar and Kyle, not really sure. But it seems like Kyle, you would have needed that. I might have voted for Oscar, but I think that it would have maybe been 3-2. So that's maybe like one way how people might be discrediting you. But also, there's also the fact that you came in with a lot of connections. And obviously you've talked about how you built the new ones. But my question is, do you feel like you were more focused on socially really trying and making the new connections work? Or do you feel like for the most part, you were really trying to capitalize as much as possible socially, more so with the people that you already knew?
It definitely varied from moment to moment, but given where I started in the game with Victor, Seb, even who I knew from years prior, I think looking at the starting tribe and even just looking at who I voted out, I admit that while I was building other bridges, I focused a lot on the relationships I had going in.
Yeah. And, I know Mason was talking about this and Cookie was as well, of how, I do kind of feel bad for Cookie and Mason because I think they're the type of players where like, if they got thrown on a cast and didn't know anybody and they didn't know them, they'd be very, very good players. And, they still were very, very good players. Cookie was very robbed. Mason played the middle very well, played his cards well with this cast, but it's a lot harder for those types of players. So I think that if anyone is going to discredit you, Kyle, you already know this, but it's because of perception and social connections that you did have coming in. Landon, it's not the jury. A lot of people in the jury you had support. Like it wasn't a foregone conclusion that, Kyle would win for sure. And like, as you're seeing with this FTC, as it's going on and on and on, it seems like people are leaning in Kyle's direction, and that's what it's looking at. I think Kyle's going to win with a pretty significant majority tonight. But yeah, I think the jury right now is thinking, 7-6-5-4. They're not sure if you had a concrete plan on it. And also like, it's not really a flex that you got Kyle not to play his idol at final 11. It's a good time to flush an idol if, he has one and he was going to go on and win a bunch of immunities. Of course, you can't forecast that he would go on and win 5 of them, but it's not necessarily a flex that you said that you were able to get him not to play it. It's good that you got Isaiah to play it, but as far as just getting Kyle to hold it, it's not really a move. So I think that, that's Landon. That's what you should talk about a little bit more now. Is like, did you have a concrete end game, or were you not really sure? And is there any moves where like you threw it out? I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you answer this question. But Kyle was telling me that there were times where you did throw out a name and you were able to gain traction and you were able to make something happen. So we need more.
Okay. So wait, can you repeat the question? Sorry, my brain is so jumbled right now.
Just main question, like it's concrete times where like you threw out a name and got your way. Because it seems like you were well connected at points. I think after the Victor vote, you kind of like pretended to be, you had good connections to the other side, of course, but you pretended to be mad at us that you'd be in good with them. They were giving you information. You brought that back to Isaiah. The middle game, you did that okay. But like, when did you like run a vote?
Fisher and Nick J. I think that I got a lot of votes on there.
Fisher and Nick J. Do you feel like you can? Okay, Nick J. I already wanted him out at that point. I think that Isaiah. I don't think you convinced anyone of any time. Okay.
No, keep going, John. It's okay. Just try to wrap it up.
You're muted, Jonah. Unmute,
buddy.
Jonah. Unmute.
You're muted. Unmute.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you like convinced anyone to do that. My thing is like, from a positioning standpoint, I sort of wanted Fisher out there, but I wanted to like target Oscar so I could have my own move because I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of respect if I made it to the end. So I don't think you necessarily convinced anyone to do that. And then Nick J, it's kind of the same thing. Like I was already willing to do it. I don't think you like talked Isaiah into it. So I'm not really sure about that. Isaiah, I'm sorry, man. Like you were second boot. I think that, obviously if you were sitting next to me, Landon, and if you're sitting next to me and Landon, people would definitely hear you out. Even then, though, I don't think you would have won. It didn't seem like you had a lot of jury support. You played really well post-merge. You did your best. But like second boot, it's hard to forgive that. And yes, Kyle, Final 7 deal. That was true. You did trick me and make me think that that you weren't good at green light, red light, whatever it's called. I don't care. Fire making. You did convince us, like you convinced me of that. Now, obviously, Oscar could be just as equal to beat at Final Four and easy to beat at Final Four, which is why it did kind of seem like it was heading in your direction at 5. But yeah, like that you did very well, and I think that I'll wrap it up. It's good. I've said everything.
Thank you, Jonah.
Thanks, Jonah. Really appreciate it. All right, and we've heard from all of our jurors, so we're going to go in reverse order. Keep it at about 2 to 3 minutes, and closing speeches. Not even that. Just just give a good closing speech. And who went first before? Landon?
I went first.
I'm going first.
No, I went first before. I went first in the booth.
Yeah,
it's
that's
gonna
all
be,
I'm going
oh,
first.
Isaiah's going first. So Isaiah.
No,
Oh, Kyle.
No, Kyle.
Kyle. Yes, Kyle, Isaiah, Landon. Go.
okay. This season has been an absolute blast. I poured my heart and soul into this season. There were times where I thought, or I was thinking in my own head, I feel like I'm getting 8th or 7th place, but I never stopped fighting. I kept on finding a way to bounce back when it seemed impossible, when it seemed like I was goner because I was one of the biggest threats at the final 11. I was voted the biggest threat in touchy subjects. I was agreed upon to be one of the biggest threats before that, but I made it here. I fought tooth and nail every single day. I called with every single person in the post area at least once. So I feel like my social game was strong, even if people didn't work together. We worked together on one vote, the Nick J vote, but I had awesome calls with you. I fucking loved our fucking joking every vote. Like, yeah, we're not working together, but it was so fucking fun. Every single tribal. Oscar, we talked every single time about, let's just extend our deal. Target me, I target you. And we just kept rolling with that. We barely fucking talked for the first half of the merge. And I fucking loved it. I enjoyed talking to each and every one of you. It has been 3.5 years since I joined the fandom. I've never been able to win a face game. I think now is my time. I believe I deserve it. I know damn well I played the best game of this Final 3, and I hope I can get your jury votes. Thank you.
Isaiah, take it away. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, so basically I'm going to keep it nice and short and sweet. I think a lot of you definitely view the whole second person voted out thing as a huge detriment to the game, which I can understand as a fan of the game and being a purist. But I definitely did try to make the most out of the experience given the hand that I was dealt. I tried my best to try to play a game to win and put myself in a position where I could possibly have a chance to win, even though, like I said earlier, I think a lot of people in my position maybe wouldn't have taken it as seriously, maybe wouldn't have tried, but I really did try my best and tried to play this game like if I still had a shot. And I want to thank you all for an amazing season, probably the last season of OSC, I think Amir would say. And yeah, hopefully we have a very nice finish.
Thanks, Isaiah. Take it away, Landon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got a 4th chance to play this game, and it was a dream come true. When I got into this game, I knew I wasn't a comp beast. I knew I wasn't an idle hound. I knew I had to rely on 2 things, social and my brain. And I did that. I played under the radar when I needed to. I called people out. And also, to answer Jonah's question, Davis and Noah in the pre-merge set me up really well in the merge. I know I don't want to be the guy who mentions pre-merge, but I think those were 2 instrumental moves that I threw out, okay? So I had to play under the radar. I played passive when I needed to, and I played aggressive when I needed to. I laid under the radar. I think Fisher puts it perfectly. I think I'm always undervalued. And I really hope you guys give me a shot. I feel like I played an underrated game. I feel like I played under the radar. I covered my bases when I needed to. I aligned with the people that I needed to get to this point. I didn't have to rely on comps like these other guys. I voted correctly every single tribal council of the merge, unlike these guys. And I genuinely think I played the best game. All in all, it was an epic season. And I love Online Survivor. And I play for the blind sides, the idols, the challenges. But as I was telling the Final Four, I do it more so for the intangibles. This community is amazing. I love this community. And I think OSC has made me a better boyfriend, a better son, and I think overall a better human. And it's an honor to get the last words of OSC probably. And that's it. Landon out. Thank you.
Thank you, Landon. I think you dropped a bomb for some people. I think a lot of people assumed you were single. All right. But thank you, Landon. I got a message from Nick J. Did Landon just soft launch his relationship? I think so. All right. But with that being said, it is now time to vote. jury, you're voting for the person that you want to win this game. The person who, in your idea, your philosophy of Survivor, deserves to take home the crown and that title of first out of 25 players. This is a great final tribal council. Good job, y'all. I will give more. I will say more after the vote. But with that being said, Ella, you're up.
Am I just doing this in Zoom DMs?
Same, just as the tribal, same thing. Same thing we've been doing all season.
Kyle, hold it higher.
That damn spoon.
It's still up every. I held it up.
Nothing
randomly,
wrong
now
with this.
You guys can also send little confessionals. I'll read them for you. Rachel, you're up. Rachel, do you want me to write that on the parchment?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Victor, you're up. Thanks, Victor. Cookie, you're up. Mason, you're up.
We're voting who to vote out of the game, right? No.
Correct.
No.
Biggest plot twist ever.
It's
We have a double winner, guys.
Jordan, you're up. Guys, please stop talking just so I don't mess anything up. I will do that by accident.
Well, like the final 8 of season 6.
Fisher, you're up.
I sent it on Instagram.
You did not send it on Instagram. Fisher,
Yeah, I did.
send it on Zoom. That makes it easier. And I'll turn the music off and go through the
Oh my
You're
god.
doing the same
I
thing.
don't even hear the music.
Yeah, is there music? Somebody better start doing the Survivor boogie. It's a conflict.
Oh
reference.
shoot. Oh
FTC
no, I meant
party.
it's a private message that oopsies.
Nick J, you're up.
I appreciated that you all dressed up. I thought that was a nice touch.
Thank you.
Isaiah was about to not dress up. What the heck, man?
He was pretty resistant, yeah.
FTC dance party meme.
I think it's a good tradition.
Will, you're up. Oscar, you're up.
There was the music.
Jonah, finish this off. Okay, let's get started.
Best of luck, guys. It's been an honor.
Votes.
It's been an honor, Multicultural Alliance.
Multicultural Alliance. we had a
Oh yeah, that's something that Amir forgot to
We played
mention.
season 6 and
Like-
no other season.
me, Kyle, and Isaiah had a chat called the Multicultural Alliance because we're all different races.
I considered it because we're all different nationalities.
Oh,
This is
There you
probably
go.
like the most diverse like final three, right? I would assume so.
And apparently there was an all-white man alliance at a certain point of the game. So
But I'm the
Y'all
last
vote for the
one.
white
My
man.
Alliance fell apart. The whole white person alliance fell
What
apart.
happened, guys? What happened?
Sorry,
One
guys.
white is
I went
remaining.
after Victor and betrayed the White Men Alliance.
Guys,
I
I
had
thought
to.
we were
What
gonna
the
be
fuck,
friends, man.
Oscar?
It
We had
didn't
something
work.
good going, man.
Good.
Just wrong.
All right, John, I have the votes. First I want to say, everyone, thank you so much for playing this season. The few pre-merges that came and were invited. I thank you guys so much for coming. I'm getting a little bit emotional. I am, because just this fandom has just been a part of my life, and I do genuinely love every single one of you. I love this game so much. Like truly, like no, all jokes aside, I want to be like serious for a second. I love the game of Survivor so much. This has been a part of my life since I was 11 years old. It is what was like the one thing that like defined me, and a time when I couldn't like when I wasn't in a sports or like any other thing else. This was what defined me. And I love this game so much, and to see it as an expression of my own philosophy of the game, my own creativity, I just genuinely thank you guys so much, especially when this first started in 2020 and I went through a lot, so much. We all did, but like through my mother's, if you know my story, you know what happened with my mom, and you know what happened with just like me and how I felt about myself and just a whole bunch of other things. And for you guys to be part of this, and for me to like come out of this with like so many amazing friends and a great community of people, I thank you guys so much. And with that being said, to the final three, congratulations. I'm about to read the votes. I know that you guys just want me to get to the votes, but I want to say
No
something.
messaging Landon if it's a tie, I'm guessing. No, we're not allowed to message Landon.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I just want to say real quick. I think each of you, the three of you, did play great games. Despite, I expect the jury to be harsh, but I think that you guys really did play. Each of you, I saw everything. I saw 100% of everything. So I know that you guys did well, and I just want you to be proud of what, no matter what happens. But with that being said, I'll read the votes. First vote. Again, you want to see your name on this parchment. First vote, Kyle.
Yes.
Landon. There's one vote, Kyle. One vote, Landon.
Thank you, Ella.
Kyle. Landon. We're tied. 2 votes, Kyle. 2 votes, Landon. Kyle. That is 3 votes, Kyle. Kyle. That is 4 votes, Kyle. Kyle. That's 5 votes, Kyle. The winner of Online Survivor competition. Kyle, congratulations. All right, congratulations, Kyle. It was an 8. No, it was a 9-2 vote. Kyle got 9 votes. Ella and Cookie voted for Landon. Everyone else voted for
Thank
Kyle.
you, guys.
So,
Congratulations,
take
Kyle.
Second place,
Good
Isaiah.
job, Kyle.
Good job, Kyle.
Good job,
Congratulations,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Good
Good
job,
Kyle.
everyone.
I almost
Good
voted
job, Isaiah.
Good
Hold
job.
on, but hold on.
Oscar.
Let Kyle have his moment. I want you to give say whatever you want to say, because you're the champion of the season. You were not my winner pick. Victor was my winner pick. But yeah, keep going.
Boo! Sorry.
It's been an adventure. Very happy to have finally won a face game. It feels like a very good bookend for any games. And I'll make everyone promise me this now. If I ever fucking play another game again, if you see me on a cast list, vote my ass out immediately. Please. I need a fucking message not to stop fucking playing games. Oh my gosh. But it's been an honor. It isn't untrue. I think somebody mentioned it during FTC. If you'd have asked me to pick the final 4 at the final 25, there's a very likely chance that the 4 people that were in the final 4 were the people I would pick. So it's not intentional. I wasn't planning on that, but it's very nice for me. And it's really cool to see that happened. I couldn't have asked to have played this game with a more fun group of people. I'm very, very happy that this is the result of this season. After 2.5 weeks of hell, I'm glad it was worth it. So thank you, Amir. Thank you to my fellow final tribal mates and to the jury and to whoever from the pre-jury is here. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Kyle. Very well deserved. I want to say, I think that a lot of of course you expect the jury to be harsh, but I think a lot of people were like, oh, I wasn't in love with Kyle's game just because they were mad that they're not the ones in the final three. I think that Kyle played a very kick-ass game since the first day that he came here. I mean, he found the pregame idol. He found a bunch of stuff. He navigated his relationships the best, and I think that he did play a very good game. And a lot of people are giving him credit out of I think some sort of like just quick like little dash of like oh, I wish that was me, or I don't want to give him too much credit because it just like hurts to say. But I think that Kyle, you did play a great game. You leave this franchise as one of the best winners that we've ever had. Landon,
The best of all time of OSC.
I think so, yeah, probably. I mean, probably, or he was greatest, never won before. But I don't know. I have to think through the seasons. But I think
He had
that
3 deep runs. Like
A winner, 2 final tribals, 3 finales. No
go.
one.
I didn't want to say like officially because I still like I had to think through all the winners and I didn't want you guys to be like, oh, what about this person? But I think that Kyle he deserved even more credit. He did win the game, but he deserved more credit than he did. Landon, I also think deserved more credit. I think there were times where Landon wasn't on the thing, but Landon, I was having a lot of conversations, and I think that people just naturally underestimate Landon because he's Landon for some reason. The same way that you guys think Kyle has Kyle privilege, Landon has this sort of like, oh, I perceive him as a baby, so I perceive Landon. Landon wasn't the only person who didn't show up for votes. There were other times where people didn't show up for votes. There were times when we didn't see Victor, but no one got mad at Victor or gave Victor like that sort of, oh, you're inactive kind of thing. People are saying it to Landon just because they have nothing else to say because they perceive Landon as it's one of this kind of thing. Also, Isaiah, I think for somebody to come back in the game after that kick-ass game for someone who had like returned from the Redemption Island, I think he did so well, and he deserved more credit as well. This is just my opinion, but Ella and Will, like that whole like let me make fun of people thing is so lame. Like I love both of you guys, but that is the most lame thing ever, and you got to be feeling bad about yourself if you're going to do that to other people. I think that they are. I mean, and no offense at all, but I think that Isaiah did not deserve any of the things that were said to him. I think that Isaiah is a better game player than a lot of the people here. We all run into like these things where we're like dealt bad cards of like, oh, second boot. Yeah, I got my ass handed to me by Rachel and Nick J and Conquest. But does that make me any less of a player? No, it doesn't. It just was bad. I just made some bad decisions. Those are the cards that I dealt. Isaiah was just dealt bad cards on a bad cast. But Isaiah, you are a very legendary player as well. I don't want you to like walk away thinking that. I think that you are hands down a great player. And I have to learn a lot from you in this game. But I think I can give more of my opinions later. But that's my opinion about the final three. If you guys have any other questions about the season, I will be happy to do it. My host favorites, Mason made this season so fun for me to host. Thank you so much. Who else did I say? Nick J also made me laugh all the time. And my Oscar. I mean, you get like this was so entertaining because of Oscar. And those other 2 people. So those guys are my host favorites. Most robbed, I think Stallings, right? I wish there was like somebody who like really like cracked my heart when he like got out of the game because I really wanted to see him play. He left with an idol in his pocket. I think that he could have done some damage with that thing. But yeah, keep going. You guys can talk now.
Isaiah, I just want to say I think you're an amazing player. I just don't think you have the best personal connection, and I'm not a big fan of returnees, but I think
Isaiah,
you're a better to be.
Nick,
That's
I
it.
agree. Sorry to interrupt you.
I will say, we talked about it. I said like, if you had like one immunity, then I would have respected you a lot more. But that's just my.
I never got my hype message from
Here's-
Amir.
Here's my
Ella, did you win an
sorry.
immunity?
I'm sorry.
No, did you?
I got it at like
No.
the fucking like final 12. I got my fucking hype message. Took way too fucking long.
I never got my hype.
Amir, are we
I
gonna watch
did
a
it.
cast assessment? I came here for the
I'm
cast.
going to show you
assessment.
guys. I showed
I
some
mean,
people there
also, is
already.
Ella ever gonna get her damn pizza?
Oh yeah. Wait, that's actually
Can
one
I
thing.
get
Are
my
these the questions
pizza?
you guys are asking me?
On the topic of a cast assessment, me, Isaiah,
Oh
and
my
Jordan
God.
filmed the cast assessment before the season as a joke, and it was really great.
I'm dying to see that.
Really
I heard
good.
about this.
I'll send
Yeah,
the
I'll show
link
it
to
to you.
the
You guys want to watch it? Let's watch it.
I would love
That's
to.
why
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
here.
How long is it?
It's like 48 minutes, but I'm just going to skip for whoever's. I'm going to skip around.
48 minutes?
48 minutes.
I don't-
is
I'm not-
insane.
Can you skip the irrelevance, please?
Yeah, I'm
Skip
going to
the
go
irrelevant
through. All
Yeah,
right,
so skip Justin's right away.
We'll go Kyle first.
Just do people who are here.
Fisher.
That's what I'm
you
gonna
know
do.
what?
Relax, long time.
You know
Love you.
what, Fisher?
Definitely skip AJ, please.
Is Jonah still here? Oh, good. Oh, you
AJ
see it.
had the gall to put season 7 winner in his fucking name. Get that shit
Give me a
out of
second.
We can definitely skip.
put
We could
season
skip
12
cookies
winner
as
in
well.
your name.
Cookie, I want the roasts. I want the roasts.
Oh my gosh, this fucking food is so goddamn hot. Jesus, I'm taking off the mask.
Honestly, let's just watch the whole thing. 48
Okay,
minutes.
no, I'm not watching it. I don't even feel like watching this whole damn thing. Give me.
Will
a
you
second.
post
Can you
what
share it
was
with us? Can you
Fisher,
like,
what
like
was
share it or whatever?
what was that
Fisher, do
video
you
that I
eat
made?
frozen
you
hot
showed?
dogs?
This is Kyle first.
You don't eat frozen
I
hot
do.
dogs?
I do not know.
Amir, you didn't share screen correctly. We
I
can't
did it
see
again. Okay, give me a second. Stop share. Why is it doing? I hate when it does.
Yeah, I deserve to put the season 7
Guys,
winner.
wanna know
Did I
whose
get or not
casting
win?
system
Apparently
we
You
not.
should drop this on
watch?
the OSC YouTube.
A fun, positive.
Yeah, you gotta upload things to the YouTube right here.
I will.
Whoa, that
Oh,
mustache.
this
What
is
the
the
fuck?
mustache era of
All right, here we
Kyle.
go. You're not gonna be able to hear. Really fun person to have this season. I really do, especially with Isaiah and Jeff and Rachel and all these people that he likes to jib and jab with. I think Kyle is really going to bring a lot of fun, positive energy to this season.
OSC 9 was the last season I played, and that took place in June of 2021. I was a teenager when I last played this franchise. I am now 21 years old.
Kyle is this very humorous, sarcastic, smart individual. I think Kyle tries to a lot of times mask his intelligence and mask his insecurity with his humor.
People are definitely going to be going into this season viewing me as the funny man, but people are also going to be going in saying he's the funny man, but you can't underestimate how dangerous Kyle is. People know that I'm a very strong player, but
that
it's
was
not going
Kyle.
to not
That
be
wasn't
me
me.
this season. You
That
know,
was
I'm not
me.
taking the game that seriously to where I just make up some entirely false persona. Who would do that?
I actually think that Kyle is a very well-rounded, strategic, social, and physical player. I think that Kyle can definitely bring all those parts out of himself very, very well. I mean, Kyle is responsible for one of the biggest, most cutthroat, most villainous moves in OSC history, and really one of the better moves that we've seen in the fandom. The Molly blindside in season 9 was one of the craziest moves, one of the most well-crafted moves that we've ever seen. What's going to work for Kyle this season is Kyle being more vulnerable and more authentic and showing people that I don't always have to be funny. I was spot on with that because the jury was like, Kyle, be more emotional. The jury was like, Kyle, we want to see more Kyle. I'm sorry, I would have split that real quick. Layers. I know Kyle has layers. I know Kyle has a story. I know that there is something deep and real within Kyle that he just does for some reason. Kyle just doesn't want to share because of his upbringing. But if Kyle can really show people a new humanity, a new side of himself, and really begin to share more, be vulnerable, and start showing himself as a serious person, I think Kyle can use that to pull at some heartstrings and really make some real connections, and not necessarily do it for game reasons, but do it for his own personal reasons and have the game work out for him. Himmy's one of our fresh meat players. All right, yep, and that was it. All right. Who else? Who's next? Did y'all like that?
I want to see what you said for Hemi.
I want to see Hemi. Come on.
Me, him.
Yesterday, Rachel was like, I want to see mine. I don't want to see anybody else. Hold on, let me see.
I did only care about mine, but then you said that
Rachel's gonna leave after you do
Okay,
it.
okay, but Rachel's kind of real for that though.
She saw hers.
She showed me mine last night.
You showed me mine too, but I want you to show everyone mine.
Okay, I will.
I heard that I was
wanna
mentioned
see
in others
mine,
people, so now I
obviously.
care to hear about
I
it.
mentioned you in mine, Rachel, but he cut you out, I think.
Fuck.
I think it would have been like 2 hours long with all the videos I got.
He still only gave Kyle credit for the Molly move.
Don't.
Molly's fucking cast photo flying across the screen is so funny.
Let me just say, coming into this season, I had I never knew what the Molly vote was before coming into the season, and then 4 people told me, it's like, have you heard about the Molly move?
It was
The
pretty
butterfly
fun
side?
hearing about OSC lore while playing the fucking.
Y'all should have seen
game. That was
Kyle.
the
All the
funnest part.
restaurants we went to in Halifax, Kyle explained to all the waitresses about the Molly move. It was crazy.
Yeah, actually.
We were fucking like at the final 4, and we were just sitting, we were talking in the main chat, and I was just like, you know what's really impressive? Not the Molly move, the Fisher move. Final 8 of this season, that was crazy.
All right, here we go. Behind Rachel, I think that Isaiah is probably one of the most robbed players in OSC history. The season that Evan won is
Rachel?
absolutely the
What?
season that Isaiah should have won. Isaiah dominated that season, played very well socially, strategically, and physically. And I think that Isaiah should be an OSC winner, but unfortunately, Evan. This was before Kyle showed it up.
Oh my God, no.
The sneak. The sneak.
Fucking love this.
That face.
Fucking love this.
That is
My
so
God,
funny.
this is brutal.
Why are we just watching it?
Why
It's
is it
terrible.
too long? Oh my God.
Showing this now of all time.
This season, I think Isaiah is really
That
going to
was
do
so
well.
long.
One of my favorite things about Isaiah is that Isaiah can find an idol and find an advantage probably better than most people that I know. Isaiah gives off this sense that he doesn't really care much, that he's really nonchalant. But really, what a lot of people don't realize is that Isaiah's mind is always constantly moving, always running, always thinking about this game. Isaiah has unique passion about Survivor as well. What I love and adore about Isaiah is that Isaiah has a unique passion about Survivor, something that a lot of people don't have. No, that part is supposed to be cut out. No, wait, give me a second. I hate that. Ugh.
Is he able to- oh my
Why
God.
the fuck did we linger on Isaiah's face for so long?
I know. It was there for like a
That was
solid
an
50
incredible amount of time. Like,
He wanted us to see the fucking pain that
looked-
he felt
wanted us
at
to just
that
see his
very
job
drive.
and
how crushed he got.
Please, Oscars has that edit that Kyle made that does the vine boom every time his eyebrows raise.
Do not pull that edit up.
I have that.
I have that
video.
edit saved.
Kyle,
Kyle,
I will
send that to me.
revoke my vote for you if you pull that edit up.
Oh, God forbid it's an 8-2.
8-3.
What I love about
Oh, well, I guess it'd be 8-2.
Isaiah has a unique passion about
Wait,
Survivor.
so is the video like not like done?
Wait, Amir, can you do me
It-
next?
No, it is done. I don't know what happened. I lost some footage for some people. And then
Clearly, it really seems like it's done.
it edit some of the. I don't know.
Honestly, I think would it be just quicker if we just like watch the full thing and then just like skip?
I don't
through
get
parts?
to watch that shit. Give me a second.
Well, we can just skip through certain people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just skip through it.
Where are you gonna post it?
Respectfully, I don't
after?
need
Are
to
you gonna
see
post
the
it on, like,
Seb
Instagram or
assessment. Like,
YouTube?
Yeah,
Well, I kind of want to see the Seb assessment. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
Please don't do that.
Okay,
It's
well, let's
just
finish
gonna
Isaiah.
cut to clips of Seb saying slurs.
Let's finish Isaiah's and then we'll go. I know everyone wants to
It's
see
not
it.
done?
It's uniquely cutthroat. And what's
It
going
is
to make
done.
Isaiah fun to watch is the fact that Isaiah is definitely going to cut
messed up.
Kyle. Isaiah's going to cut Jeffrey. He's going to cut Rachel. He's going to cut Victor. He's going to cut Jonah. All of these people that he's really close with, if he gets the opportunity, he's going to cut them and doesn't care.
Naturally want to work with, myself included, and they should know that, come on, man. Like, I am willing to write down anybody's name at any point in the game if it means that it's going to get me further, if it's going to increase my chances of winning the damn game. I do not care. I am willing to do whatever it takes at all costs for me to win this damn game. They should know me. They should know. They should know how I am. I will not stab you in the back. I will stab you right in the chest as you are looking at me doing it to claim back what is rightfully mine and get the crown.
In my opinion, what's working against Isaiah is that there are times
Look
in
at
which
Isaiah
Isaiah's social
sassy.
game
That
sucks.
looks sassy.
Isaiah is a survivor robot. I do think Isaiah is going to do well, but if Isaiah wants to do better, I was spot on with that too. Sorry. Go ahead.
Amir, we're wasting
Isaiah
so much
needs to
time.
get out of that
Just
robot
showed
suit and
emotion in the
become a
video,
human
though.
being. He can keep the strategic mind. He can keep the physical mind. He can keep all those things in his head. But Isaiah is going to have to come down on a human level, talk to people, be a human being, entertain conversations, lead conversations, and really up the social game. And I think that Isaiah can do very well this season. The only reason I'm not making Isaiah my winner pick is because I don't think Isaiah can win out in the end. And I'm so excited to see Isaiah play. He makes my heart happy too. I think that Isaiah, underneath that nonchalant, cool, chill, hey, sarah attitude, has this uber love for Survivor and for online games. I cannot wait to see him play because he's awesome. All right, I'm going to start from the beginning and then we can watch the whole thing. And I'll skip. If you guys want me to skip, just say I'm going to skip this and then I will skip it.
Okay.
I will be.
When we get to Hemi, if someone says skip, you're done for.
You're done for.
You're dead to me.
Hemi should be
I
here
mean,
right now.
afterwards, can you like share it just in case we like want to watch it?
Yes,
like,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Can we skip Fisher's?
Amir, are you posting like the clips of tribals?
Well, I'll refund my Venmo.
Yeah, how ask me to do that? How do I do it?
Can you add me to like the jury? Can you add us to like the jury chat or make like a hang
Can someone do that for me? Someone do that for me. Yeah. And then,
I got it.
Well,
Fisher's the only good ally I have.
well, there's chocolate.
Fuck you, Kyle.
I kind of want to see
Brady for
this.
me this season
That's
is probably
mother.
going to be one of my
Yes,
favorites and somebody that I'm rooting for. And the funny thing is, I wouldn't have said this about Brady when I first met her. Brady will even tell you herself that she was a bit of a witch. She was a bit of a negative personality coming into these games. But I've seen a lot of growth in Brady, almost like this sort of butterfly. Brady will tell you that she's not the same person as she used to be. Brady's the kind of personality where she walks in a room and you know that she's there. She's not afraid to show herself. She's a very confident individual, very attractive individual that I think can really lure in a lot of guys if she
Amir.
wants to. If she can
We don't
really
need to
lean
know
into these different parts of
we all
herself
know
and
where I
really
stand.
remind herself that
That's
she's
all
playing a
I'm
game and that she
saying.
doesn't have to be so confrontational, that she can be nice and just be Brady, a calm self, I think Brady can do really well in this game. Cookie, gotta love Cookie, man. I love Cookie. Cookie is an amazing player. I've seen Cookie really grow a lot. I think Cookie has really shown himself to be a force in these games. He just won the most recent season of InstaZoom, which is definitely something that's going to be working against him in this game. But what I think what works for Cookie and why I think Cookie can do well is the fact that Cookie is just himself. Cookie has no problem being that guy. If Cookie feels like dancing and twerking and singing, despite being like this straight white guy, he's going to do it, you know? He's just like this amazing person that people like to be around. And because Cookie is so comfortable with himself and really leans into these different quirky, fun, amazing parts of himself and is not afraid to show that, I think that's why people like being around Cookie, and I think that's why Cookie finds himself in alliances, and I think that's why Cookie can find himself to the end. Oscar for me is the #1 favorite. You gotta love Oscar. I think that Oscar is the very reason that season 6 was as entertaining as it was. He was just someone who brought a lot of conflict, a lot of energy, just really, you know, put the game into different levels because Oscar's not afraid to do things. Oscar is a very risky player, and if Oscar wants to do something, he's going to do it. So Oscar's either going to propel his game or be an early boot like he was in season 9. Oscar needs to learn that you don't have to take so many risks to win this game. You can just chill, get into an alliance and go. This safe route is what's going to work for Oscar. And once Oscar makes it to that merge, then he can start being a little bit risky. And I think that that's going to work out well for him. Oscar, I don't think is going to win the game because Oscar's just so crazy. Oscar just is, Oscar.
Changed. I'm a completely different person in every way except one, because I am still a crazy motherfucker, and these people still need to watch their fucking backs because I am gonna still create fucking chaos. Now, am I gonna say I'm a changed man? Am I gonna say my game is more social now? Sure. And I do have a better social game for sure, but when I say that I'm not crazy anymore, and when I say that they don't need to watch out for me, I promise you I'm lying.
Heath Ledger's
Because
Joker
that's one
over
thing
here. What the
about me
fuck?
That's never gonna change. I am Chaoscar, and if I ever tell you otherwise, I'm fucking lying.
Hashtag chaos. Kyle, I think is going to be a really fun person to have
Watch
this
this
season.
already.
I really do.
Yeah.
Especially
This
with
is a good one. No,
season,
let's watch
Yeah.
this.
Kyle being
Yeah.
and showing people that I don't always have to be
skip
so
it.
hilarious. I know Kyle has layers. I know Kyle has a story. I know that there
Right.
is something deep and real within
I
Kyle
tried to.
that he
It was
just does
guys,
for
I
some
think it's
reason.
something deep and
Kyle
real
just
within
doesn't want to
Kyle.
share. Biggest question mark.
This guy
Of what I'm
stinks.
gonna do.
Oh,
And
Heavy.
really,
So
Oh,
Heavy!
you're more
Yeah,
vulnerable
I'm
and start
used to
showing himself
Yeah,
as a
it's
serious
coming, it's
person.
coming.
Kyle can use that to pull at some heartstrings and really make some
I
real
would've missed it,
connections, and
too.
not necessarily do it for game reasons, but do it for his own personal reasons and have the game work out for him. Hemi's one of our fresh meat players this season, and somebody who I
Yeah!
wanted on this cast because I do think that Hemi can
Don't trust these
produce some
people.
original strategic thought of his own, and somebody who I think
shouldn't have trusted these
maybe
people.
new, but also not somebody who's going to take orders
just
and let
Molly.
people bark at him. And I really
I was a naive, dumbass 17-year-old. Now I'm still a dumbass 17-year-old, but I'm not as naive
I mean, I
anymore.
claim his hat.
So you better beware of what I'm gonna do, because it ain't gonna be pretty.
Hemi this season is definitely going to be faced with bigger players trying to use him as an extra vote and try to tell him what to do. He's like that prey, and we have lions like Rachel and Davis and Kyle, even Isaiah, waiting to like sort of pounce on Hemi and use him as a vote to propel him forward. I do think Hemi's going to make the merge or either be seen as a suspendable person. I think that if Hemi can find a real partnership with some people, Hemi can make it far in his game and even pitch himself a case to win in the end. Noah for
Damn,
me
he
is
did.
probably the biggest question mark coming into this season, hands down. He's also another one of our fresh meat players who I haven't really gotten that much experience with seeing him play or having played with him, but I gave Noah a chance because I do think that Noah has some potential because there are some people here that he can develop some connections with. Because I'm not sure if Noah is going to be one of those players that can really produce some original thought and can do things of his own. You don't necessarily have to be a dominant force to do well in OSC, but you cannot be a passive player. For Noah this season, it's going to be a matter of really showing himself as this active person, somebody that's not expendable, somebody that's not an extra vote. He's going to be another one of those players that people are looking to pounce on as an extra vote and being told what to do, especially Noah's definitely coming into this season underestimated, and he knows that he's being underestimated. He even said that, Amir, I think even you're underestimating me.
A lot of people underestimate me, and hell, Ymir might be underestimating me because what he saw, I mean, he saw someone, all he knows about me is a 1-vote finalist, right, on their second game that really just didn't have any chance of winning after like final 8. I was practically a GOAT, I'll admit that. But I really do think I've grown since then. I can make strategic moves, I can actually get good reads now. I can control votes, I can make alliances, I can do so much more than I could on that second game of me playing.
If Noah can find himself in a strong alliance and be the author of those blueprints and not just be told what to do, I think that Noah can potentially make it far in this game because Noah's not going to be considered a threat for a very long time. Davis is another one of my favorites coming into this game. I love when Davis plays OSC because he is so uber passionate about this franchise. He loves this game so much. He cares a lot about it. And this is where he sort of fine-tuned his legend status in the fandom. He was already considered a legend and like this great player, but he really not took it up a few notches when he played OSC. Davis, more than anybody, is going to have to stay out of as many tribal councils as possible. He's going to have to keep winning and winning and winning if he wants to make it further. And unfortunately, that's a sucky position to be in, but because he's Davis, that's just what he has to do. Davis is one of those players where he could be a dead fish. He could do nothing. He could just sit back, kick his feet back and do nothing, but people would still determine these reasons or try to come up with something to sort of go after Davis or take him out. Davis is the kind of player who boosts your resume. If you are the one responsible for taking Davis out, you have a better chance of winning if you were to sit in the end because, hey, I took out the fandom legend. I took out King Davis. I'm also really interested to see Davis and Rachel's interactions in this game. They've become really good friends outside of the game, but before, Davis and Rachel used to go to war, did not like each other on like some personal levels, and it really was a thing in OSC. 10-person vote out of online Survivor competition.
Oh no.
Rachel, you need to bring me your torch.
This is so embarrassing.
Declan, you're devastated. What the fuck?
I was devastated.
That's embarrassing.
I knew
That is
it.
Declan. What's Declan doing?
That was all Davis.
I love looking back at
Oh,
these.
Declan was the king of the spectators that season, but you could.
Davis.
I remember that.
smart move.
Rachel,
I
you
don't know
thought
why
I
you
was
come for me
Rachel,
every
you thought I
game.
voted you out.
I think that they're going to definitely work together if they cross paths in this game, and that's what makes sense for the both of them. I'm just really interested to see who's going to strike first because they both know that they can't take each other to the end. For Davis, this season, it's just going to be a matter of if people want to keep him around as a shield or if people are going to want to take him out early because they just don't want to deal with it. I don't know how Davis is going to pull this one out. I don't really think that Davis is going to win, but I'm very excited and interested to see what he does because when Davis is in the game, there's going to be fireworks for sure. Rachel, obviously, for me, is another one of my favorites coming into this season. She is the empress of this side of the fandom. Everybody knows who Rachel is. She's like, what works for Rachel is the fact that Rachel has a lot of friends. Everyone is really close to Rachel. She has a lot of really close personal connections outside of this game that can translate very well into this game. But this season, friendship isn't going to work for Rachel. Rachel this season is in a lot more trouble than she realizes because a lot of those friends are not going to care. Out of all the big threats, I think that Rachel's coming into this game as the #1 threat. And I think it's more so because she stands out as one of the only girls and because Rachel typically gets her way. Rachel obviously is another one of those very well-rounded players, very social, very strategic, can definitely win a challenge if she puts her mind to it. But no one's going to let her have the chance to do so because Rachel has this big reputation. I would not be surprised if I saw Rachel go out pre-merge this season. I honestly think that that's where Rachel is destined for in this game. Rachel's another one of those players who I think can't win, but not because she's a bad player, but because she's so good, she's not going to be able to get to the end. I really hope Rachel does not become a pre-merger this season because she is so passionate about this game. She loves OSC so much, just like everyone else, but there's something unique about Rachel, and she's coming into this game with so much to prove because she almost won All-Stars 2, one of the biggest, most competitive seasons, the most competitive season in OSC history. She was 1 vote away from sealing the deal and she never did it, and it's something that I think has been haunting her ever since those days, and it's been about 2 years since that happened. What's going to work for Rachel this season, unfortunately, is nothing. If Rachel wants to do well this season, she better pray really hard and start throwing some Hail Marys because she has a really long uphill battle ahead of her. We just have to hope that Rachel finds herself some luck because she's going to need a lot of it.
Was not wrong.
So Jonah, so there's some like natural laughter when I say Jonah's name in OSC because Jonah's had one of the most interesting journeys in OSC ever, with just the fact that he has never made merge. He's played several times, but he's never made merge in his game. Jonah is not winning this game, has a 0% chance of winning this game because I'm not sure if Jonah can really stack up against the competitive level that this season has to offer. We have 23 other amazing, fantastic players, and that's not to take credit away from Jonah, but because I haven't really seen Jonah, other than his performance in Conquest, really do super well in an uber competitive cast. Jonah could absolutely prove me wrong, but my ultimate hope for Jonah this season is that Jonah makes the merge. Jonah's gotta make the merge. That's all. I think that this is the season that Jonah makes merge though, because he has Kyle, he has Isaiah, he has Jeffrey, he has Victor, he has all of these different people that he's friends with, people who like actually talk to Jonah and hang out with Jonah. Jordan's also playing this season and they've met up in person. If Jonah can get with the right people, if Jonah can get with his friends, Jonah is going to make the merge. For Jonah this season, it's going to be a matter of friendship. Friendship. Jonah, I know, has the strategy in his brain. Jonah knows how to play this game. Jonah just doesn't execute. If Jonah can execute the strategy and really pull it through, I think that Jonah can build a resume for himself in this game. But he's gotta make the merge. Jonah for merge. Michael J. Fisher, just another oddball this season, but a good oddball, right? You never know what you're going to get out of Fisher. Similar to a box of chocolates, Michael J. Fisher, you never know what you're going to get out of him. The question I have for Fisher this season is, are you going to play with your friends, the people that you can be comfortable with, or are you going to go back to your old school mantra of, I want to be there for the new people, I want to be able to give them a chance? Fisher is an idle hound, and Fisher's going to be on that PC, that same laptop that he's been on for seasons, looking for idols, going through hundreds and hundreds of different Survivor players, looking for those things. And I would not be surprised if Fisher had his hands on the idol. Fisher is unique in OSC in the sense that Fisher has departed this game, been eliminated at each unique stage of the game. Fisher's been a pre-merger, Fisher has been first merge boot, the mayor of Ponderosa, and Fisher has also gotten 5th place in this game. The reason that Fisher has gotten merge boot twice is because Fisher is not a critical component to many people's games. A lot of times people don't mind getting rid of Fisher. I think a lot of times Fisher finds himself in situations where it doesn't make a difference to a lot of people's game whether he's there or not. So to save themselves from getting blood in their hands, they just say, bye-bye Fisher. Fisher 100% has the ability to win this game, and I think Fisher can find himself in the end. It's just Fisher's cards are going to have to be played right, and Fisher's going to have to play his cards correctly. I think that Fisher is a great player, and for Fisher, it's a matter of getting his feet wet and hitting the ground running. If Fisher can find himself with a great group of people and a great alliance, I think that Fisher can win himself out because Fisher is a physical player and find himself in the end. I would not be surprised if I saw Fisher as the winner of this season, and I would be so happy for Fisher. I would be so proud of Fisher if he found himself in the final 3 and finally got that win, because finally that dark cloud that has been hovering over him of being the merge boot, of being the expendable OG, you know, imagine how it feels to be an expendable OG. Expendability is supposed to be for newbies, but Fisher is the expendable OG. If he can get rid of that, I would be so happy for Fisher, and that crown would be well deserved. Will, for me, is going to be a lot of fun this season. Will is somebody who brings a lot of energy, is definitely the main character, the energy of the party, and somebody who we definitely are going to hear on Zoom as loud as he can, hitting the one-liners and just bringing a lot of fun. My fear for Will, though, is that I think Will is going to annoy some people. Will's not afraid to express himself. Will's going to have to be able to balance his personality and the game. If people find Will annoying, they're going to let him go because Will doesn't have too many connections or as many connections as other people do in this game. I like Will because I think that Will is a very adaptable player, and I do see Will doing well in this game. Will played our most recent season of OSC, in which we had some unsavory out there characters. For somebody as liberal gerbil and just down to earth as Will to play with Johnny and Curtis and a bunch of other names from our most recent season and still be able to do pretty solid, I think that Will has a chance to do really well in this game. Something else that's working for Will is that Will knows his Survivor very, very well. He can spit Survivor facts all very, very fast, just like that. He knows this game. It's just a matter of, can Will play with the right people, find the right people that aren't going to find him too threatening and want to work with him. Will is definitely going to be somebody who works with our few girls that we have in this game, and I'm really excited to see that dynamic because if Will can whistle his way in with those girls,
Right,
Will's
Will.
solid. Because Will's an extra number, Will can definitely fit in. Will's a lot of fun for that group of people. I would not be surprised at all if I see Will very, very deep in this game. Will's definitely going to be a top contender this season for sure. Victor, I think, is one of the most likable, if not the most likable person on the cast this season, which is why I'm officially declaring Victor as my winner pick for season 12 OSC. Victor's not too extroverted, but Victor's also not an introvert. You know Victor's there, but not the picture lagging for y'all. Is it
It's
like
fine. We can hear you.
Yeah, it's fine.
but everything's good? Okay. So much to the point where your strategic mind is kind of setting in to take him out, which is why I think that Victor is going to find himself in an alliance, be able to be vocal enough to make some moves to put on his resume, but not to the point where his alliance is going to be afraid to sit next to him in the end. Victor has a lot of friends in this cast, but a group of friends that are not too threatened by Victor and like to be around him and are not going to take him out too early in his game. When Victor has a strategic conversation with you, Victor's able to not make it seem like he's the one leading the conversation, but all along, unbeknownst to the person that he's talking to, Victor is kind of calling the shots because Victor has this unique ability to lead conversations in a way where it's beneficial for him. You confide in him and you trust him a lot, and you don't expect Victor to stab you in the back because Victor's always smiling. Victor's so calm. Victor's so nice. Victor is very inviting with the way that he speaks to people, which is why I think that Victor definitely has a lot of potential to be a strategic powerhouse, a social powerhouse. And if Victor can definitely work on some challenges, I think that Victor can become the most well-rounded player that we've seen in OSC. The only thing that I see going wrong for Victor is the fact that there are some people here who played with him in previous games that might remember some moves that he made before. He did play Insta-Zoom. He has played Conquest. Are people going to remember some of these different things that Victor did that didn't so much work well for them and want to take revenge against him for it? But I think that Victor has his way where he can reel people back in and have them be nicey nice and forget all of the bad things that he did to them. Kyle, Isaiah, Jonah, and Jeff are sort of going to be fighting over Victor. Victor also has Noah, and with Noah in this game, Noah is definitely going to be Victor's extra vote. I think that Noah and Victor are really close, and I think that Noah really, in a way, strategically looks up to Victor. If Victor can figure out a way to destroy the perception that him and Noah are a pair and find himself in the end with the right people, Victor will absolutely win this game, and I cannot wait to see it happen. Michael Salisbury, great person. I love the guy because he was so excited to come back and play and has been asking me forever for another chance to come back to OSC. I hate to say it, but Michael is probably going to be the first boot this season. If he's not the first boot, it's probably because he won the challenge, and the first time that he goes to Tribal Council, I do expect Michael to go out.
That was true.
Unfortunately for Michael, this season, relationships are going to be stronger and are going to matter more than they ever have in any season of OSC. At this point, these people have had 3+ years of building relationships and friendships with each other that unfortunately have no choice but to transcend into this game.
So I don't have many friends in the fandom. I don't know many people on the cast, if any people on the cast. So I think in that case, it's going to be an uphill battle for me this season to make the relationships that others already have established through other games that they played because they're more active in the fandom than I am. But I don't think those disadvantages are going to cost me my game. I don't think that those disadvantages are that vital because I can make these friendships.
If I was playing this game with Michael, I would 100% play with him because I don't get to cross paths with somebody like Michael my entire life. He looks like he came out of Duck Dynasty with the long hair, hockey shirt, just this oddball, crazy individual that kind of just makes you like turn your head and just be like, who is this guy? The thing about Michael is I think that he's a very refreshing character. I think that Michael brings a new, different, unique kind of characteristic to this cast, and definitely why I brought him back, because we don't get a lot of Michael Salisbury's really in the fandom or in OSC. So it's not that I don't think that Michael can be a great player and that Michael is a good player, because Michael kind of held his own in season 6 of OSC. He ended up being first juror by, means of the game. I really hope that Michael can find himself in a solid alliance, a trustworthy alliance, because if Michael is in those tribal councils early on, Michael's going to be toast, because no one's going to stick their neck out for him. It's because Michael doesn't have any connections on this cast at all. Really, the only people that are going to remember Michael are people from season 6. And even then, I don't think that he's going to be that memorable to a lot of people. The question for Michael this season is there anybody on this cast that is going to stick their neck out for you and keep you around in this game? Maybe if he cross paths with Fisher, maybe if he talks to Oscar, maybe even if he cross paths with Kyle, there could be like a connection there. But other than that, if Michael does not find anybody that's going to stick their neck out for him in this game, Michael would have turned him into. But I really like Michael. I love Michael's energy and love for the game, so I brought him back because I think that he's going to be fun and kind of refreshing.
They were
to
a
this
duo
group of
all
people, this
along.
group of people that we see play these games all the time. But we don't really get to see Michael Salisbury play a lot of games. Some things I repeated because I had to game for Jordan. Oh, this is Jordan. So let me make sure this is here. You are. And anyone else said yes because Jordan
we can
is
skip this
the
one.
OSC for me is that I'm rooting for Michael, and I really, really hope that he
All right, there we
makes
go.
it a few votes into this pre-merge because he's going to need a lot of luck, a lot of love, and a lot of help. When Jordan said yes to playing OSC, I think that my heart smiled more than it did when anyone else said yes, because Jordan is the OSC heartthrob. I think that a lot of people like being around Jordan, and Jordan is also another one of those really likable people. Jordan, in my opinion, is actually very good at this game, and I think that Jordan will hold his own this season. I do expect Jordan to make it far, and I'd be shocked if Jordan went home early. I think this cast is really going to look to Jordan as somebody that they can have in their alliance, because Jordan doesn't come off as a cutthroat player or somebody that would stab you in the back. What a lot of people are going to forget is that Jordan got second place in All-Stars 2 of OSC, and you don't just do that off of a fluke. I think a lot of people will still consider Jordan as somebody who didn't have his hand in a lot of plans, somebody who was a go and not really all out there when it came to the strategic moves of the game. I have seen great social game from Jordan. I have seen some strategy from Jordan, and Jordan definitely, when he takes that shirt off, Jordan will show you that he can kick ass in the challenge. I'm not sure if we're going to see that side of Jordan this season, but it's definitely something we've seen in the past, and I'm really excited to see it happen. Jordan is somebody who has grown a lot. I think Jordan is going to show people this season that I'm different and that I'm more confident in myself. Jordan will even tell you that he has had a lot of confidence issues in the past, and the reason that he lost OSC in so many other games is the reason why he felt like maybe he wasn't worthy to play Survivor. But I think this season we're going to see a very worthy Jordan. Jordan is coming into this season confident, knowing that he can kick ass, and I really hope that Jordan can get into an alliance and lead that alliance to really show people like, hey, I did deserve to win past seasons. I did deserve to have a place, and I think for Jordan, what's going to work for him is really gauging if people still underestimate him and really gauging if people see him as a threat. For Jordan, if he thinks that people underestimate him, the smart thing for him to do is to really lean into that. If Jordan gets the sense that people underestimate him, instead of losing confidence, I think that Jordan should get more confidence and really lean into that and then use it as an opportunity to stab people in the backs. I cannot wait to see a cutthroat Jordan. I hope that we get a cutthroat Jordan. I want Jordan to own the things that he does. Something that has frustrated me about Jordan in the past is that Jordan does not own the moves that he does. Jordan doesn't own it. Jordan sort of like cowers back and be like, oh, hey, well, this person told me to do this and I was part of this alliance. Like, no, Jordan, own your moves, do what you said you were going to do, and come here and kick ass and play. If Jordan were to win OSC 12, I would be so happy for that kid, so happy for him, because I think that that moment will really be a full circle thing for him and really, really show him that he's a great player. I think that Jordan has grown a lot in his confidence, but there's still some parts of him where he feels like he's like, maybe not, maybe I don't fit in with this group of people, maybe I'm just like your average player. But I think that if Jordan wins this season, he's really going to leave feeling good about himself, and I want that for Jordan so much. If somebody can leave this game feeling personally good about themselves, then I feel like I've done my job. I feel like the entire season 12 cast has done their job. We have all done great jobs of being each other's friends and really being there for each other, even despite being part of a game where backstabbing people is like inbred in the DNA. I brought back Ella this season because I knew that Ella was going to bring drama and be this big villain and someone who I think was going to make this season very, very entertaining early on. Ella is not making it past the first 5 votes. I'd put money that Ella, the first 5 tribal councils, Ella is gone. Ella is toast. The only way that I see Ella making it past those first 5 tribal councils is if she continues to win. And I think that Ella can win because Ella is good at challenges, and that's what she has going for her, but no one likes Ella, unfortunately. There was a time in which Ella was sweet and Ella was nice and people did like Ella, and Ella was coming up as like one of the more competitive girls that we've had on our side of the fandom. Ella used to be like the really nice, just fast fuzzy, like everyone liked Ella. She was just like this cutesy little girl and always wore the bucket hats and was always smiling and dancing and having fun. Just over time, Ella sort of became this negative person that people just sort of like had a very strong distaste for because she really got wrapped into like the deadly side of the fandom. And I don't want to be mean, and I really do want to give all of my players beaming reviews because I am very honored that everyone wants to play. But Ella for me is probably one of the more one-dimensional players that we're going to have this season, because I don't think that Ella knows how to do anything more but to be a little bit toxic and to be mean and to really like give this perception or persona that, hey, I'm a hard ass, and hey, I mean, and hey, I'm a villain, and villain. I would love to see the sweet side of Ella come back. I think that Ella will have a very uphill battle deconstructing all of those negative
Yeah,
things
you're
that people
not seeing
perceive
that
about her.
anytime
This is a game
soon.
about perception. And again, back to Survivor 101, perception is reality. When we played this game, she was a top contender in season 8 and somebody who I thought was probably going to win the game. My hope for Ella on a personal level and on a game level, if she wants to do well in this game, and if she wants to continue to have friends in this fandom, is that Ella becomes sweet and starts to become herself again. I don't think that this whole villainous thing is Ella. I can see straight through it. I think that other people can see straight through it. If this were real life, then people I think would help Ella. But in this game of Survivor, people are just going to vote your ass out if they think you're being fake. Devin is the real life of the party and played OSC. That was a bit harsh. That was harsh, I admit. But Ella
You just took
so far,
Ella.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello, I love you.
I'm gonna give you a second to respond to that because that was a bit harsh if you want to say anything, but we're gonna keep going.
Listen, I feel like to the people I enjoy, I'm not that mean, but like the issue is I hate a lot of people, so they don't deserve me being nice to them.
I think Ella just got rid of all the sympathy that she just won.
You hit the nail on the hammer with that one. Good job.
I didn't do shit.
Listen,
I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna say it.
All right. But yeah,
I'm nice to the
again,
people I want.
my job doing this cast assessment was to give an honest opinion, and that was my honest opinion. We're moving on. Back in 2020, back when season 1 has started, Devin has played this game several times, knows it up and down, but yet has never won this game. It's going to be Devin, I think, is probably going to be one of the most fun people to host this season because Devin dances, Devin sings, Devin does what Devin wants to do. If there's anyone that I hope wins this game, I hope that Devin wins this game. But I do not think that Devin is going to win this game. I don't know exactly why. I can't pinpoint exactly why Devin can't win this game and why he has never won this game out of the several times that he's played it. But I really hope that Devin can win because Devin, he just got, for someone to be that dedicated over so many years, over so many seasons, you gotta finally hope that they win on their like 6th, 7th time around. The thing with Devin is I don't think that Devin knows how to be anybody else other than himself. In a game about adaptability, I think that Devin can have a little bit of a hard time because Devin has to be the one that's calling the shots. Devin has to be the center of attention. Devin has to be the loudest one. Devin has to feel like he is the biggest factor in the situation, or else Devin isn't going to feel like he's playing the game. Devin is a great player, very, very well-rounded, definitely wins challenges, definitely is strategic, a real social force. The only thing with Devin is because people are so intimidated by Devin, they either vote him out very quickly or they string him along to the end, but then strike when they finally know that it's not sin. You don't want to buck up to Devin. You don't really want to go to toe-to-toe to Devin when you're in the game with him because you know that it can ruin your social ties with other people that Devin is connected to. And it makes you sort of feel like that Devin is going to stop at nothing and take you out until you're out of the game. Jemima's playing this season. Rachel's playing this season. I think that Devin's definitely going to get in with his girls and try to run the game. It's just a matter of if Devin's going to be loyal to Jemima, who would absolutely kick his ass in the final 3, and if Devin's going to be loyal to Rachel, who would also kick his ass in the final 3 situation. I just wonder what Devin's going to do when he comes to these points where he has to make hard decisions. If Devin can make these hard decisions without having people hold a grudge against him, I do see Devin winning OSC. If Devin can make those decisions and make those moves and play the game in the background while just on the forefront making people just see the extroverted side of Devin, I think that Devin can do really well in this game. I'm so happy that Justin decided to come back and play because he's another one of those people that we haven't seen in games in a while, and I think it's really going to bring this shock factor when people
You
see
are
things.
gay.
Initially, I think that Justin is going to do well this season. I think that Justin is really going to find himself with a good group of people, and I think that Justin will be a merger and somebody who I think is a real top contender in this game. In past seasons of OSC, Justin has been the one person that people in production have rooted for. People love Justin. I think that Justin has a great story. Justin really brings some entertainment. I think Justin knows how to play this game. So therefore, there's no reason to think that Justin is not going to make it to the end of this game. I think that Justin absolutely has the ability to do so. The players who are coming back out of retirement like Justin, I think are really going to be bringing A-level gameplay this season. I can't wait to see it. I think that if Justin were a real survivor, he would definitely be somebody who the audience like genuinely roots for because Justin has a great story. Justin genuinely sees this as an opportunity to grow and to really share his story and to really bring some inspiration.
I feel like I've matured a lot.
Run me my
over
dollar.
this last year, and I'm excited for that.
Yes, you
And what
are.
I mean by like maturing, I don't feel like I'm gonna be as like an angry vocal person that I come across as. I played a game with Andy before, and he said that I'm very smart strategically, just my emotions get the best of me, and I feel like that's something I've been able to work on this last year. I've been able to become a better person with that, and I feel like a lot of that
I
comes
did
from
that. Check.
growing up I grew up
Did
in
you
a very
say Andy at the
Republican,
beginning?
rural farm town.
Yeah,
So
it's a
me being
Habib
who I am,
saying.
Oh, okay.
they teach you that
I
being
love
gay is
Andy
wrong. I
though.
feel like that festered a
Andy
lot
thinks
of
you don't
problems for
like
me.
him.
I've
You
always
like
felt like
Andy?
I've had to live a double
Yeah, I
life.
love Andy.
And
Okay.
when I came online,
I'll
I
tell you
wanted to
about it
have
later.
like my own voice. I feel like it was my time to be outspoken, and I feel like sometimes I overstepped that, and there was a lot of anger deep down inside of me that I've never been able to reflect on from like my childhood, my youth. And I feel like over the last year, like I've grown, I've accepted
Trauma
myself,
dumper.
and I don't feel like I need to be like that anymore. And that's not who I am. I've
True.
always been genuine, but sometimes the way I come across is not the best. And I feel like I've definitely been able to work on that a lot the last year, and I'm excited to show that.
Justin doesn't really have this hard exterior shell anymore where he needs to find himself in conflict with people. I think that we're just going to be seeing sunshine and rainbows from Justin this season, and I'm absolutely here for it. I think that if Justin comes into this game sharing his story, a lot of people are going to fall in love with Justin and really want to play this game with him. He's going to find himself to the end. I'm so happy to see what Justin does in this game. He's also someone who definitely brings a smile to my heart.
He has a mustache.
When Nick J decided to come back and play this season, it made me very happy because I remember meeting that kid when he was 13 years old, very passionate about this game, very passionate about Survivor, and he did very, very well for a 13-year-old. He came into this game as one of the youngest people in the fandom, one of the youngest people in OSC, but had this strategic mind that was like way ahead of his age. Nick J for me is probably one of the most impressive players that I've seen in OSC and in the fandom because Nick J is so young, but he has such an old strategic sage mind. If Nick J has the strategic mind that he does now, imagine as it continues to grow in 5 to 10 years, I would not be surprised if I saw Nick J actually on Survivor and Big Brother and The Challenge, winning that money and doing very, very well. In the last All-Star season of OSC, Nick J did get second boot. And no one said it at the time, but I think the reason Nick J got second boot is because Nick J is perceived as a threat. A lot of people aren't going to admit the fact that Nick J is this big threat because he's so young, and I think it kind of takes away from people's egos if they're like admitting that this kid is better at the game than they. I love Nick J, but he said that he's not coming into this game with something to prove, but I'm calling bullshit on it. I think that Nick J is absolutely coming into this season to prove, otherwise he wouldn't be playing. I think that Nick J knows that this season is really, really competitive and wants to come in and prove himself as a strategic player, especially after his performance in All-Stars 2. What's working against Nick J, and something that I find absolutely hilarious, is the fact that Nick J is extremely honest. Nick J is a very direct person. He doesn't care if he hurts your feelings. And if Nick J has an opinion about you, he's going to let it be known. He likes to argue. He likes to be in conflict. And a lot of times I think Nick J just likes to be funny and doesn't care if it's at your expense, especially if you annoy him.
And then let me tell you something. I'm not trying to prove anything. Okay, I have nothing to prove because my self-worth isn't determined by online Survivor games. Okay, I'm too likable and I'm too amazing, and you're gonna see that this season.
Next, skip.
Because there's gonna be a lot
What
of
a
insufferable and
narcissist,
intolerable people
honestly.
here, and I'm not gonna name names, Jonah, but I do think it's gonna be
Not
rough.
the name
I'm just gonna
guy.
have to rely on
Oh,
myself.
Okay, but Nick J was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time.
Social, because everyone's gonna love me. Because honestly,
Big
I'm a
social
really
read by
enjoyable,
Nick J.
amazing individual. So yeah, and going into this, I know that I'm just gonna be up here, and everyone else is gonna be down here, on a metaphorical sense and
Nick
literal,
J,
because I'm
Nick
also
J.
probably taller than them. But
He
the
was
point
so
is,
ahead of his
there's
time.
probably only like 4 or 5 max of the people that are not morons.
Let's stop
on
being
this
a hater.
cast, just
Oh my
foreseeing the
God.
future. And
It's what I
think
do.
I'm really gonna use that to my advantage, and I'm gonna win. And I've been second boot, I've been second place, I've been second merge boot, so now it's time to be a 2-time winner, and this will be my first win. Just you wait. See you later.
Nick J, I just want to say real quick, like, obviously I saw the satire, and I don't think Nick J is actually that narcissistic or like self-centered.
I disagree.
That's
I
how he
disagree.
is. I got on calls with him and he
I'm
was
gonna go ahead and
legitimately like that.
Thank you, Amira.
This is
Okay,
Nick
but
J
like,
in
is
real
that
life.
bad to
And
be
I
a
cannot-
narcissist?
Wait,
Yes.
wait, this part.
And I've been second boot, I've been second
Not this
place,
part.
I've been second merge boot, so now it's time to be a 2-time winner, and this will be my first win. Just you wait.
A
See you
2-time
later.
winner.
Nick J and Ella are going to go at it this season. And I cannot wait to see it happen because I know that Nick J is going to say something rude. I know that Ella's going to say something annoying and they're just going to go at it. But if he doesn't mend fences with people like Kyle, somebody who's coming into this game with a lot of friends and somebody who is good at this game, Nick J can find himself in trouble because I think that Kyle can, especially this season, rally some numbers together to get Nick J out if he feels threatened by him. Nick J is
Nick J, should we
absolutely
fight?
the kind of player that you're going to want at the merge because if Nick J gets the merge,
I wasn't
Nick J's
worried
gonna
about
find
Nick J.
idols,
I was
Nick J's
never
gonna
mad
find
at him.
advantages. Nick J is going to win out on several individual immunity challenges to the point where you cannot stop that kid. Once that kid gets his feet going and that motor running, he is unstoppable. And I really cannot wait to see how Nick J plays this season. You know that it's going to be a very funny, amazing firework of a season if Nick J's playing, man, because Nick J is not shy at all, and Nick J knows how to play this game, and he's definitely bringing his A game. Behind Rachel, okay, just real quick, I want to say that y'all are
Yeah, we already watched it.
Y'all took Nick J out at the right time that y'all did because I think those challenges that Kyle won afterwards, I think Nick J would have very well done well.
Well, then
I
I should have fucking taken Nick J out.
I think that
Well,
Nick
if you
J.
kept me in, if you kept me in, I think I would have won. I don't mean to toot my own horn.
No, that's
I
what
would
I'm
have
saying.
stood
Like,
my title.
in the strategic social sense, I think that taking Nick J out, I mean, yes, I'm sure, but like he also is also good because I think that Nick J would have won those challenges or like at least give him a run for his money.
No, that was the only round he could have been voted out from what it seems like. Nick J makes it past that.
There are times in which
Yeah,
Isaiah's
'cause I would have
social
stole
game
the
sucks.
idol.
Isaiah's a survivor robot. I do think Isaiah's going to
we
do
saw
well,
Isaiah's
but
already.
if
I
Isaiah wants
skipped
to
halfway
do
through it.
better,
Yeah, we already saw
Isaiah
that.
needs to get out of that robot suit and become a
Isaiah
human
getting
being.
phoned 2
He can
times.
keep the strategic mind. He can keep the physical mind. He can keep all those things in his head. But Isaiah's going to have to come down on a human level, talk to people, be a human being, entertain conversations, lead conversations, and really up the social game. And I think that Isaiah can do very well this season. The only reason I'm not making Isaiah my winner pick is because I don't think Isaiah can win out in the end. And I'm so excited to see Isaiah play. He makes my
As it
heart
turns
happy
out, he
too.
could
I think
win.
that Isaiah, underneath that nonchalant, cool, chill, hey, Sarah attitude, has this uber love for Survivor and for online games. I cannot wait to see him play because he's awesome. I don't think a lot of people realize, but Jemima playing this season is definitely going to up the strategy. Jemima is the most dangerous player coming into this season, and I don't think a lot of people realize. A lot of people
I
don't know
was so
Jemima,
mad
and
when
a lot of
Jemima got
people
snubbed.
are going to underestimate her just
No,
because
because
she's
I
not
would
here.
have
So I
given
can
my life
say
for that
like.
woman.
She's not here, so I can say like I don't mind interrupting this one, but like y'all got her out. Taking her out pre-merge was the exact right thing to do. She is that girl's a player. So Rob,
Oh, I'm so mad they got her out.
I
what-
wanted to
they
work
thought she
with
had the
Jemima
idol?
so bad.
that's why.
They thought
That's
she
what I'm
had the
saying.
idol.
I was so happy when y'all voted her out.
No,
'cause
no,
every
that
time
was
I talked
also
to
one of
someone,
Kyle's
they
good
would-
moves. That was also one of
I
Kyle's.
was so happy y'all voted her out because every time I talked to someone, they would go, "Oh, I really want to work with Jemima," and I'm like, "Okay, everyone
That's what
wants
I'm
to work."
saying. But it made so much sense. And Kyle had that idol all along, but it's made
Yeah,
everyone.
no shit, Jemima didn't have the idol. Like, come on.
No, that's not what they thought. Unless,
Yeah, but no
I know
shit.
Jemima all the way back from 2020 when
Hey,
we
I
played
think that's
Missy Bird
Kyle
Survivor
privilege
game
for
online.
everyone to
Okay,
just
but
be
y'all,
behind
let's
that
watch
one.
hers. Let's watch. We'll talk about it after. In a minute. It was a complete group of strangers, and Jemima obviously absolutely left that game as a champion because Jemima is fantastic. The season was originally supposed to be 23 people, and I was going to have one person go to Exile Island. But when Jemima wanted
It
to
became
play, I had
25.
to make it 24. She's just not someone you pass up when they want to play Survivor. I
Who
think
made it
And
Jemima
then
got
when
to the final
Stallings wanted to
six,
play,
the
you
second
made it
she lost, she's
25.
going to get because she has a
Oh.
community idol, and the people are definitely going to vote her out. I can't wait. If you've seen Jemima play this game, you know that Jemima is cutthroat. You know that Jemima is extremely social. You know that Jemima can get her hands on an idol if she wants to. You know that Jemima can get a group of people to do what you want her to do. Jemima's coming in as fresh meat, but Jemima's not going to have any problem getting in with a group of people, no matter who she's with. If she's with Devin, she's especially going to do well. And if she's with Rachel, she's especially going to do well. But I think with any group of people, Jemima's going to do great because Jemima knows how to communicate. Seems as if 100% of the time, Jemima knows what moves to make at the right time that are going to benefit her and propel her far into the game. Because Jemima is someone who's confident and speaks with conviction, you just know not to mess with her, and she's someone who you naturally listen to. Really one of my favorite casts. I know that Jemima is going to do so fantastic this season. She made my heart smile so much when she said, I want to play. If Jemima's volunteering to come in to play a game and I didn't have to ask her, I know that Jemima's going to come in with 110%. I know that Jemima's definitely going to be slitting throats. I know that Jemima's going to play her some Survivor, and she's going to do so well. I cannot wait. Is probably number one for me. One of those people who definitely going to make it on Survivor and has the most potential to win the real game of Survivor. I'm talking about CBS Survivor, not online OSC Survivor. Landon coming back to play this season, I think, is one of the more funny, more cute things that we're going to have this season, because Landon was another one of those players who started off really, really young and kind of grew up with OSC. So it makes me kind of happy as his host, as his big brother, as his friend. But Landon, I think, is going to be so much fun to have, because I think Landon is just so cute. You want to put him in your pocket. That's how in season 9 of OSC, Landon didn't do super well. He was like the last boot before we made it to jury, but Landon made the most game-changing decision of that season. Literally tie in OSC 9 due to my poor planning. Landon was the one who broke the tie. He decided to make Pellegrino the winner of that season. So coming into this season with Rachel
Frosting
being
man.
here, Landon's going to be in a
Go ahead
little
and
bit
give
of
me your
trouble
hand.
because Rachel feels the type of way about that. She'll tell you that she feels the type of way about that. She doesn't think that Landon was that involved in the season, and I think that she's going to have a little bit of a vendetta against Landon for not
You share
picking
with the
her as
class,
the
Rachel.
winner. Even though Landon is
you both,
older, Landon
Rachel.
is still going to be viewed as that little kid, because that's still the perception that people have in their brain. What Landon is going to have to do is come into the season really proving himself as this mature individual who can play with more mature people. I know that Landon can play this game. I've seen a very cutthroat Landon in the past. I've seen Landon play idols. I've seen a physical Landon. I've seen a lot of really good parts of a Survivor player out of Landon that I think a lot of people haven't seen. But when someone underestimates you, you buck up and you kick their ass instead of cowering down. And I think that's exactly what Landon is going to do. Being that Landon is also a bit removed from the fandom, it doesn't play games that much, I think that Landon is coming into this game with 110% of everything. Landon is definitely going to be coming in hitting hard. Landon is definitely going to be coming in trying to make the most cutthroat moves just for the sake of it, and I'm so excited to see it. For some reason, I don't think that Landon can win, and maybe that's me just underestimating Landon too, but I'm really, really excited to see what happens, and I hope that Landon proves me wrong. Another person that made my heart smile when he decided to play this season was Jeffrey. I was very, very,
So
very,
rough,
very
too,
happy to see
so
Jeff
rough.
play, because Jeff is another great player. Jeff's another
Love
great
that
player who's
guy.
going to bring great
Love
strategy
that
to this
guy.
season. I cannot wait to see him play. Oh, wait, no. What I love about Jeff is the fact that Jeff knows how to play this game very stealthily. Jeff keeps quiet. Jeff stays chill. Jeff stays cool, calm, and collected. He stays so calm, cool, and collected that by the time we get to the end of the game, no one notices how dangerous Jeff is. And if Jeff is in the final 3 situation, Jeff, without a doubt, is definitely going to get those jury votes. Jeff, I think, is one of the more dangerous people that we have in this fandom altogether, because a lot of people don't see him as a threat, but he absolutely is a threat. You don't want to mess with Jeff, because Jeff can make those quiet connections, those background connections. In every moment of a game or in Survivor, there are moments where you just want to pounce on the biggest threat. I think that Jeff has the ability more than anybody to rally a number of people to go against the biggest threats. I've seen it before, and I think that we're going to see it in this season of OSC. I almost made Jeff my winner pick for the season, but I think with this group of people, some people might catch on to Jeff a little bit early, to the point where he's probably not going to make it that far. I don't know what Jeff has to do to make it to the final 3 in this game, but I know that Jeff is going to make it to the merge. I do not see Jeff being a pre-merger. It is not possible. It is not within his destiny. You just do not make Jeff a pre-merger. He just
So
doesn't become
about
one.
that.
Yeah,
Part of me feels
baby.
like Jeff is
So,
destined to win
Amir.
this game. I think
Yeah,
Jeff is one of those
baby.
players who is destined to win one of the bigger games in the fandom, and
Womp
OSC is one of those games.
Rob.
You think Jeff's your number one.
you
You
say
think you and
womp
Jeff are
womp?
really close. He's that kind of player who you don't think is going to backstab you. But I absolutely think that Jeff has that backstabbing ability in him. If Jeff wants to dominate this season, similar to Victor, and him and Victor for me are neck and neck in terms of like who's going to come out on top. If Jeff wants to dominate this season, Jeff is going to have to be super, super cutthroat. Jeff is going to have to put all of his emotions to the side, all of his friendships to the side, and really make some hard, strictly strategic decisions. He's probably not going to want to take Rachel too far in the game with him, because I can see them being deemed as a pair, and also Rachel's going to strike his ass when she gets the chance. I don't think that I've ever seen Jeff in an argument or in any negative interaction. I don't think that I've ever seen Jeff do anything but be this cool, chill guy. The only person who I've seen Jeff get into it with is Brady Zimmer, and Brady Zimmer is back this season, and I think that Brady is forgiving enough to work with Jeff. So I do think that
That's
great
not
things are on the
funny.
horizon for Jeff and OSC this season.
That's
I can't wait to see him do well. I'm going to be so proud once I see him make that merge, and maybe probably win this game. Mason played our most recent season of OSC, and I was elated when I heard that Mason wanted to come back and play, because Mason was somebody who left a really good impression on me after he played our most
Yay,
recent
Mason.
season. Mason was so popular amongst his tribe mates that the merge name was named after Mason. It was called the Mason Harlow tribe because apparently everyone thought that Mason looked so similarly to Jack Harlow. Mason gives off the kind of vibe that I think, even though he's newer, I think that a lot of people are going to want to work with Mason because he just is this nice social guy. He is definitely not somebody who comes off as a threat. I think that he's just this vibe that a lot of people are going to want to be around and get to know. And I know this group of people. Mason is that kind of new person who can certainly fit in with this group of people. It can certainly be part of our Good Vibes group chat, and is definitely somebody who I think is going to make it further in this game, at least further in comparison to a lot of the other new people. Mason also played this game in a chill way, and you don't really remember a lot of bing, bang, boom things from Mason. Not a lot of
you'll be
oohs and
targeted
ahs, but
until the
Mason
end of time.
certainly was able to strategically and socially
Mason's in the friend group, guys.
I think that Mason is probably going to remember Will, and I think that they can get in together, especially as two people who may not have as many connections as other people. I wouldn't be surprised if Mason was one of those, you know, sheets in wolf's clothing who came in as somebody who definitely looks like they're ready to be devoured, somebody who definitely not going to be able to do that much harm. But I think once he gets into a group of people, I think that Mason can be well. I think that Mason can do okay. But on the flip side of that, I think what's working against Mason is the fact that people don't know a lot about Mason. And when you're somebody who people don't know a lot about, you can be considered unpredictable. You can be considered somebody who just is expendable. And I think that that could be a reason that somebody want to vote Mason out.
Mason for sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised if I saw maybe Davis take Mason under his wing, because Mason just seems like one of those people that Davis would hang out with. He just seems like one of those Malibu cool guys, long hair, don't care, that kind of vibe. Mason is also coming into this season very, very excited. He was somebody who
Mason,
cleared
do you
his
think
schedule
that
to
your
come
long
and
hair
play.
don't
And when
care?
you're clearing your schedule to come play OSC, I know that you're bringing your A game.
Mason,
who's your true number
I'm
one?
really excited
Mason?
to see what Mason
It
does.
was you,
He's one of those
Justin.
new
It was
people that I'm
you.
rooting for. Somebody who doesn't have as many connections, and because he doesn't have as many connections, I think he has an uphill battle. But I'm rooting for him so much because I think that Mason certainly deserves a chance in this game. And that's it.
Hey.
Let me be clear.
I'm here.
Not really.
Be clear.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that was everybody.
Clear.
Oh.
All right, y'all,
Wait,
but
did
that
you
was
do
my cast
Stallings?
assessment. That was my gift to this cast.
Wait, what was Stallings?
Here's
Yeah,
Stallings.
Stallings
Everyone-
was a last minute
And he
addition,
was a
right?
last minute addition.
He was added to the cast like literally a day before. So that
I'm
was
here.
yes.
You know, I was at his house when you did that, right?
The stalling sneak is.
Oh, he took- he
I,
took-
I
I-
report. I report.
No, look, I told him that. I said I told when he called me, I was like, turn the camera around.
I was in the room. You were like, "Where's Rachel? Where's Rachel at?" And I was
You were in there. Actually, that's what I said. I said turn the camera around. I know you would. I was, like,
I was
I'm
in the room.
Put
you're
the
like, "Where's
camera at
Rachel
his eye level, unfortunately. She was
Wait,
underneath.
where'd you go?
I was just like, he just didn't like show me. I was in like,
Oh
I
my
was on the
god.
I was just like, I'm not stupid. I told him I was like, I'm not dumb. I was like,
No,
I know
me and
you-
Andy were just on the couch,
You're
and he
not
just like
dumb.
didn't show
You were
me.
on call with Isaiah and I days before the game started, and we were asking about our hype messages. And then Isaiah was just like, "So when are we getting our hype messages?" And you just say, "I gave it to the first 12 tonight. I'm gonna do the other 12 tomorrow."
I never got my hype message. I never got my hype message.
Neither did Jordan. I don't know. I'm sorry. I mean,
And I didn't get my love letter, and Nick J didn't write me a song. So
And now you get my
I
song.
agreed to that. So
Nick J wrote a song though called Utah, so he can send it to you. He can.
okay, that wasn't for Jordan. I mean, I just want to know what the choice was to.
No. Don't gloss over that. What is the song called Utah? If you're comfortable talking about it, of course. What is
Utah.
Just a song I
Never
wrote.
gonna love me, but
It's just a song I wrote, but I just want to
I
talk.
didn't know
about
you
the
wrote
fact-
music, man. It's hard.
I do. I just want to
Yeah,
talk about
he
the
did.
fact.
He wrote a song called Utah.
Nick J
I
cannot
want to
complete
talk
his
about the
sentence.
fact that Amir included the weirdest choices for gag items in the fucking auction. Like he put in freaking, I don't know why he put in a song from me when I was in the game. And
No,
a cameo
because it was
of Devin.
it was like
And then congratulations on the relationship.
Good job, second
by the
place,
way.
buddy. Not too bad. Good job. No,
Gang getting better
I
boyfriend.
used my old list from whatever I had used it before and was like, because I needed ideas for gag items. So I was like, I'm just going to use this again. I think
got
should
both
put in
gag
my
On the more important topic, when am I gonna get my pizza?
I don't know. Do you
I
want to
think
pitch?
Landon deserves it. Landon should get an honor. That should
When
be
you
like the
pay
second
for
or
it, that's
third.
when.
Oh my
Landon
god,
gets a
Will.
Shut up.
Will, shut the fuck up, bro.
I can't get over. I started thinking like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna seduce all of us.
Yeah,
I'm
but no,
kidding,
but
I
no,
said
but-
that.
Oh yeah, I like
He's
that. That was
gonna
the
convert
strategic.
Justin.
That was the strategic. Fucking prediction.
No, but I want to say the cast assessment was my gift to all of you. I hope you guys liked it. It was.
Thank
I
you,
think
Vaughn.
it was for the most part, it was beaming.
It's his way of
Like the
It
fact
was,
that
it was
it's the-
lovely.
mine was like five times longer than everybody else's, and I really
Yo,
appreciate
it's his way of easing
I mean,
us into telling us that he's
like,
not posting this.
everyone's each was like, I talked for everybody individually, like each 30 minutes long, what it seemed like. And I just had to keep cutting it and keep cutting it. But like, there were some parts that I really wanted to keep in there that I think it was like, this is going to be.
Are we doing a reunion?
I'm sad you didn't. I don't know.
I think, I
I'll
don't know.
send
I don't
the
think
videos I was
anyone,
gonna
I don't
before.
think everyone would show up. I mean, I sent it to people. Yeah, hold on. Let me start.
So if